and welcome to the New Release Radar Artist Spotlight. Today I'm joined by none other than Dreampocket.
Hello.
Hello, aka Sam.
Hi, Nick.
So, we're going to have a talk about your releases. But first of all, a little bit about you, where you're from, your early inspirations, and kind of key creative milestones.
Oh, sure. Let's see what I can recall.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's see. What was the first question? Can we do one question at a time?
Yeah.
Because
No, you've got to answer every question now, remember them all, and then repeat it verbatim later. Yeah, of course. So
I have
where,
mental issues that are usually spoken in initials. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So
what,
it's like, let's
fine,
stick with one question at a time.
where you're from. What's,
Hi, it's great to be here.
I might leave that
I'm
in. Where are you from?
I'm from Murfreesboro, Tennessee, which is close to Nashville,
Mm-hmm.
and pretty much grew up in the Nashville area until my mid-teens. Moved to the Midwest and did the rest of my growing up there. And
Whereabouts in the Midwest?
all around St. Louis, Kansas
Mm.
City type areas. And I moved back to Nashville because people told me I should come back here because there's like music happening here or something.
Well,
Yeah.
it's one of the music capitals of the world, isn't it? Supposedly.
Yeah, it's Music City.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
There's there. Well,
Hmm.
it's isn't it the home? Well, it's that's where Sun Music is, isn't it? The recordings. Is that where it is? Where Elvis recorded? Is it called
Sun
Sun
Studios
Studios, or is that
might be in. No, that one's in Memphis.
in Memphis? Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's where the blues are going down.
Right. Yes.
Yeah. But Nashville has a huge music industry, country
Mm,
music, of course, Christian and gospel music.
mm.
And of course, there are a lot of pop and rock acts around Nashville. Like, oh, dude, just go out any night. You'll see amazing bands playing everywhere.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
When you're growing up in a city like that, that's really famous for music and you've got all this going on, but when you're not really old enough to kind of get into it, are there lots of people making their own bands, making their own music, sneaking out to gigs and events, that sort of thing?
Probably. Like I was still so young
Right.
when we moved from here that I wasn't quite to that point in my life, but I was aware that, we lived in a place of music. My parents liked to listen to a lot of music. They had a lot of vinyl records and radio was always on. So, my mom was a songwriter for a while, a
Oh,
singer,
wow.
played guitar. My grandmother was a pianist, and we actually kept her baby grand piano in our living room because she did a lot of traveling. So she didn't really have somewhere to keep it, I suppose. But that really did influence me a lot.
I
Um,
bet. That's
yeah, just
amazing.
having the instruments laying around and having access to them.
What kind of songs did your mum write?
My parents both listened to a lot of sort of like hippie folk music, if you will, from the 60s and the 70s. So we're talking like Joan Baez, James
Ah, yeah.
Taylor,
Protest
even
songs
John
and
Denver.
things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
artists who did a lot of protest songs for sure. But like, just soft, beautiful guitar music. And that's what she wrote. She had an acoustic guitar and she wrote some love songs for my dad. And then they got married and she said that, she did what she needed to do with her art. She wrote these songs to express herself.
Yeah.
And now that she has what she wanted, she is satisfied. And she didn't feel the need to keep writing, but she kept her guitar and taught me all my first chords and um, allowed me to just play with it as a kid who had no idea what to do with it. But
Ding.
exactly, and just like hitting it like August Rush style, just but finally, just slowly getting better at it and better at it until the acoustic guitar kind of just like became the thing I felt like I could do anything on.
That's amazing. That's a song in
Yeah.
itself. That's an album in itself.
She pulled out her old notebook and played one of the songs for me one time, just for me. She was kind of had stage fright, I guess, just playing for me,
Oh
a
my
little kid,
God.
and I was like probably 10 years old, somewhere around there. But it was beautiful. Yeah. And she can kill a Carly Simon karaoke, dude. Like,
Oh, okay. So I was going to ask if she'd ever recorded them, or if not, would you ever want to kind of reimagine them yourself?
wow.
Because that's the kind of thing I feel like, oh, it needs to be preserved, that sort of thing.
Oh, wow. I need to jump on that, huh? I need to
Or
do
even turn them into, you even turn them into like them
I need to get
kind
I need
of,
to get her to record them so I
well,
can
yeah,
have that. But
ultimately,
as far
yeah,
as
that would be the
covering it,
best.
yeah, I performed folk music for almost a
I remember
decade.
you saying that, yeah, on the Heartbeat Hero.
My musical journey has been ridiculous. Like just started off just playing piano and guitar at home, singing, writing songs.
Yeah, so let's go back. So you're strumming on the acoustic guitar,
Yeah.
and then where did it go from there?
Well, the piano was also there. So
Right? Yeah,
I did learned kind of how to play things by ear. Like I was no Elton, but I could pick out any tune that I heard just,
instinctual.
because all the keys are right there in front of you.
Mm.
I mean,
You
they're
just find
you
them,
just
don't?
find them
Yeah,
exactly, yeah, and then just try to remember where they go. But I learned like what keys sound good together, kind of chords, kind of like not knowing what I was playing, but it did help with learning the guitar
mm.
because it's like, oh, I already know what this chord is. I just didn't know it was an A, but now I know forever this is A. Play it this way, it's an A
It's
minor.
transferable.
Yeah, it is transferable. Yeah, especially with the young impressionable
Yeah,
mind. It's yeah, like they say learning a new language is so much easier when you're a kid because your
yeah,
brain is still absorbent.
yeah.
So it was kind of just I mean, I was homeschooled, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned that. So I spent a lot of time at home.
Did you find that gave you more time, would you say, to do the music stuff, or were you very much encouraged to do other more traditional academic things instead of having free reign to do that?
Can you hear my son yelling
I
in the
cannot.
background? Okay, good.
That's
Um
cute.
no, I think that um spending that much time at home and living without any neighbors close by, like neighborhood kids or whatever, just out of boredom, the music stuff was there.
Was your house quite remote then?
A bit, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, we kind
interesting.
of lived in the country and it was, yeah, the necessity for civilization became a little more immediate, I suppose.
No, well, it's a nice idea, but the practicalities reign supreme when it comes to that, doesn't it?
Hmm.
So, did you have friends that were also homeschooled? Did you like form bands or do creative things with them, or was it just more kind of the usual 80s,
Oh
90s
man.
things,
Um,
games?
yeah, there were other homeschooled kids and kids who went to school that we were friends with through
Hmm.
our 4-H club. Um, I don't know if you're familiar with
What
4-H,
what is
but
that?
it's kind of like a community program for kids. Maybe it used to be like an after school thing, but
Oh, right. Yeah, we've got similar. Yeah.
a lot of it has to do with domestic education and farming, even just basically kids getting together and learning stuff, going on field trips. And when we would hang out outside of that, it's just like, playing with Legos,
Mm.
playing board games, riding bikes. Yeah, the good old stuff. We did have family we were friends with, the kids, all four of them or maybe it was just three of them, but they all played classical instruments and they played as a trio together.
Oh.
And they performed in our living room for us once. And I was like, that's awesome. I'm gonna get better at music.
Yeah, it spurred
Yeah.
you on to get better.
Yeah. And I was like, you guys want to hear something I wrote on piano? And I played something for them. And that was the first time I learned that uh people would think it was cool that I couldn't read music.
Yeah, yeah.
But I could sight read. I was in a cappella choir. I was versatile with my position. Like whatever the teacher needed that day, if people called out, were sick, I could fill in from first tenor to bass. And I mean, I had a pretty wide range.
Yeah. When I was a child doing all the instruments at school, I could, but now I can't anymore either. And I don't really remember how I used to do it.
Yeah.
I think now if you looked at it and like annotated it, you probably soon realize that because I started recently doing lots more MIDI control and being more confident in playing things and not getting other people to do bits for me and really enjoying doing everything from top to bottom in that regard. But I kind of had to make stick on a keyboard where notes were and things like that. And I even enjoyed using my actual like keyboard
Mhm.
because I could, even though the notes aren't the same, I could at least make a mental note of what letter it was when
Mhm.
I'm doing some riff or bass or whatever it is. So I think and I know I'm not the only one as well. So I think most people will know that you do everything yourself. Like there's no MIDI, no nothing.
Right.
Everything is done 100% from scratch, and that's why I think a lot of people in the community look up to you who doesn't want to be able to do everything from scratch with actual synths and playing the guitar and the piano and what have you.
Like you were talking about with the MIDI control, there's anyone who knows me and about my the way I make music, they know that my go-to keyboard is that Yamaha DGX. And there are different versions of it, but this is the portable grand. And I have had one of those. I saw a kid with one when I was 14, and immediately, like, I have to have one of these,
Yeah,
not just for that electric guitar sound on a keyboard,
yeah.
but the thousand voices and all the beats. So it was such a cool thing to have because as I was learning songwriting and I'm like blasting out 2 to 5 full song lyric sheets a day. I did that pretty much all the way through high school. And even before that, I was just writing lyric sheets, playing with the Yamaha. The cool thing about the Yamaha is that it tells you exactly what everything is. Even on the little screen, if you set it a certain way, you hit any key, it'll show you exactly what note it is and what the chord would look like for it. Play any chord. It shows you what you're playing. It tells you the name of that
So
chord.
you can like be writing it down and making
Yeah,
it, yeah, building it that way.
that's how I was able to learn what all the notes and chords are
Mm.
on the piano using this Yamaha that's kind of like teaching me what I'm doing as I'm doing it. That's also where I learned how to recognize a lot of different rhythms
Mm.
by genre because there's so many in there. It's like I hear when I know, oh, that's trance, that's techno, that's house, that's a samba. I mean,
My favorite was always Eurobeat.
oh yeah, I love Eurobeat. Oh, those are so good. And yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll pull a Gorillas one day and just kind of have a song that's just like all the beat
Yeah,
from the keyboard.
that was so for doing all the different demos and pretending me and my friends doing dance routines to different keyboard demos. I think that's such a keen 90s and 80s memory. Oh, they sound so funny as well. Yeah, I used to love exploring keyboards and all my brother had loads of different ones. He was
Mhm.
one of those people that kind of collected equipment and then got really bored of it.
Oh,
And then I'd end up bashing around on it. Yeah, it's amazing that we were able to circumvent traditional techniques and cobble together things. And I think it just goes to show that it's theory is one thing and then intuition is another completely when it comes to anything like this, like
I,
any
I guess
art.
so. I was lucky to have Mrs. Smith as my music teacher in high school
Okay,
because
Mrs. Smith.
yeah, she really understood that like I had a passion for music and that my songwriting was heartfelt. And she did get a little frustrated with me when I wasn't absorbing, how to read sheet music. And
Mm,
of course, I was a little frustrated with myself. And who knows why, like other things going on in life maybe like distract my brain. But she was compassionate enough to say, okay, let's do a different way for you. I'm just going to teach you how to sight read.
mm.
Yeah. So that's kind of just like I see how far away the note is. I know how far I need to move my voice.
And that was your,
That
we
was,
all have one of those teachers, I think, don't we? That was a teacher that's just
we
this,
all should. Everyone should have one of
and
those.
every school should have several of them,
Hmm.
that's incredible because they're obviously they have so much pressure to just tick boxes and things like that, and to meet someone that still managed to have that passion left in them to allow you to kind of to foster your talent in that way.
Yeah.
So homeschooling wasn't at high school then, because I'm not sure how it works. So you
Oh,
went
okay, yeah.
to a
So
traditional high school.
when we got to high school grades, um, my parents, I guess, decided like, okay, well, we've done what we can do, so now you need to go start integrating
Yeah,
with
yeah, yeah.
society. And they didn't have the, I don't know, the
The
resources to
wherewithal.
exactly to teach us foreign languages and the
Mm-mm.
advanced maths. So that's where we started
And how was that?
going to school. It was crazy.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun though, I gotta say. I mean, gosh, a lot of people miss high school, right?
Some people, I loved it, but some people detest it and
Yeah.
hate it, don't they? You know.
There were aspects of it that I really loved, and probably because it was the most like social interaction with my peers I'd ever had. And but it was also shocking because
What shocked you?
I just the variety of character.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And not only that, but to find out that I am quite a character myself.
Because of course you don't know, do you? If
You don't know, yeah, until you're around a bunch of other people who kind of hold that perspective mirror to you
a bunch of
and say, hey, by
NPCs,
the way, like this is you're seen in this certain way. Like
yeah.
we know you think you're a normal person, but everybody is just completely totally different, which is something that I think a lot of people learn earlier on in their lives. But yeah.
Did you assume that other people's parents were creative or musical and shared that thing? Were you surprised to find that that was something that was a little bit unusual?
Oh no. No, not really.
No, you knew that that was something quite special and different.
There were, we had a big family and we had three musicians in the family.
How many
And
of you?
in the immediate family, we had four kids.
Right.
I'm the one of the middle ones.
You're a
And
middle. Ah, okay.
yeah. And my uncle was a country songwriter.
Yeah.
I told you my grandma played piano and my mom wrote songs on her guitar. And aside from that, that's all the musical type stuff I know of anyone in my family doing.
Because I'd assume you'd all be this big troupe, kind of putting on shows and performing for each other.
Oh
Bit
no,
skip
not quite
down
like
certain
that.
people.
Yeah, no, music was kind of an escape for me to like get away from the monotony of just,
This modern living.
yeah.
Mm. What were your early kind of inspirations? I know you said on Daniel's show that you had a thing, an Elvis thing.
Hmm.
So tell me more about that and why Elvis. Obviously, your exposure in that area is not a, that makes sense. But who else? Like what other artists and things?
For pretty much my whole childhood, I was only exposed to music from the olden days. They were
The
called oldies back
oldies.
then. Yeah, oldies,
Yeah,
50s, 60s,
I love it.
and sometimes 70s. It would be things I hear on the oldie station, which they used to have. It played just those kind of shows. Now it's all mixed up with
Mm.
whatever is considered classic rock nowadays,
It's all a bit of a melange, isn't it
which
now?
is could be anything. But I would hear just tons of old Motown hits on repeat on the oldie station in Nashville. It was called Oldies 96.3 back then. They played the Temptations. They played a bunch of Elvis, and they played the Hollies and they played the Beatles and the Bee Gees and all just everything that was happening back then. Any chart toppers, any top 40 stuff from back then. And whatever caught my ear on there, what I thought might sound a little different, little cooler than everything else. That's what I
Mm.
kind of latched on to. So Elvis was one of them. That started so early on, I don't even remember. But I do remember the first time I heard the Bee Gees and was like, okay, what is this band with the harmonies? You know,
Yeah.
um, but those beautiful British harmonies were so great back then. The British invasion was just like so wonderful for music, and rock and roll and all that. So
It's kind of like an echo, like a bounce effect between,
yes.
because this is the thing, like, because the British stuff was so influenced. For example, it was Elvis. Well, the story goes, doesn't it, that Elvis was kind of taking black music and popularizing it, and then the Beatles
Oh
were
yeah, definitely.
popularizing
Yeah.
Elvis, and
And
then
Elvis
we
wasn't
were
the only one doing that, but they were, yeah, it was definitely
right. Yeah.
just a huge appropriation.
People forget, people don't realize, young people don't realize quite how transgressive Elvis
Mhm.
was
Oh
then,
yeah,
and
no.
obviously
Well, he's a
cool.
rock star. Like
He's the
what kid
coolest
is gonna
ever, I
question the
think.
character of a rock star?
Yeah. And that they had to edit him on TV in the beginning because of his
Mm,
hips shaking
Young
and
Sullivan. Yeah.
things.
I remember I was there. I could only see his shoulders.
Yeah, I always, and I think probably he maybe one of the most handsome humans ever
Yeah.
to this day. Like, just he has the profile of like a classical
Yeah.
statue.
Well, he
Like, he's so
was
incredible.
definitely like people these days say, this guy could be Elvis. He looks like Elvis. Almost looks like. No one ever said Elvis almost looks like anybody else. They're just like, you look the
Yeah,
way you look.
he's a
Hmm.
one-off. Yeah, he's the
Yeah.
prototype. What would you say was your favorite or maybe top five of his songs?
Yes.
If you
Oh
can.
yeah.
That's a
No,
terrible
that's a great
question.
question. Suspicious Minds.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Such a
yeah.
good song. I don't know. I kind of had like really liked was drawn to the sad stuff.
Of course. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, but and the answers may change over time. Like when I was a kid, Easy, Jailhouse Rock, Heartbreak Hotel,
Mm,
so many other absolute bangers, such as If I Can Dream.
mm.
His version of Unchained Melody is just, oh
Yeah,
gosh, his Kentucky Rain.
it just makes you
Oh,
weak at the knees.
just tons of great songs and all written by other people pretty much, but no one could cover a song like Elvis, man.
I like Can't Help Falling in Love with You.
Which one can't help falling in love?
Yeah, yeah, that's my favorite.
There you go. Blue Hawaii, the whole album, his Christmas albums, The Wonderful World of Christmas. Come on.
What do you think of the films?
Gosh, it was really hard to find them, but
Mm.
I would watch them whenever I could. Like if one came in at the library in Murfreesboro, which was right next door to the one skyscraper we had. They would have VHSs. So I got to see Blue Hawaii.
That's a nice skyscraper, I was gonna say. You should be very proud.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things where like my parents knew that I liked Elvis and they let me listen to his music,
Mm.
although they knew he was not the best influence probably. But sometimes they drew the line at the movies. They're like, "Oh, we don't know if this is appropriate for you."
Around what year would this have been when they were thinking, when they were saying that?
This was the mid 90s.
Right. So it must seem so tame compared to other things in the mid 90s, like the gangster rap and like
Mm-hmm.
like new metal and some of that stuff coming out. And that gives you an idea of how,
Mm-hmm.
where they were at in terms of what they wanted you to see, I guess.
Yeah, we watched a lot of PBS, which is really good because it was a little more, it was kind of a balance from like the one side and the other perspective on life. It was very open-minded.
Well, a lot of the best stuff is on PBS. Some of the more interesting stuff is on PBS, or certainly was.
Oh yeah.
Um, like documentaries and weird foreign things that you may not see otherwise. I
Yeah.
think a lot of people owe lots of childhood vibes to weird stuff they happen to see on it that
Mm-hmm.
they've
Oh,
tried to track down on YouTube years later,
there was a show called Nature.
Right.
I don't know if they still do that. That was really cool. They always had like a movie star narrating this awesome stuff, much like the BBC Earth,
David
the David
Attenborough ones. Yeah,
Attenborough
yeah.
series. I love those. Oh my gosh,
Mm,
my favorite shows.
really?
There was a one called Nova that was just about science stuff. That was always good. Antiques Roadshow.
You had that. Oh God, that makes me feel because it was always on a Sunday night here, and it always gave me that Sunday night school feeling.
Oh yeah.
So whenever I hear that music, it always makes me feel like, oh, yeah, yeah. It has that effect on millions of British people that grew up hearing that.
Really. I think it was my like the Christian homeschooled circle is not really into video games. And so like we never played video games growing up. Didn't have
Interesting.
them around. Like I had a cousin with a Game Boy. Whenever he came over, I was like, I gotta play the Game Boy as much as I can while he's here. It's so much fun. But other than that, I didn't play any video games
Oh no, were they
until,
demonic?
oh yeah, and violent and just who knows? Like you never know what's in a video game, right?
Mm,
So I don't know. I think maybe like that's one of the factors that led to just like playing with music all the time.
yeah, because anyone that grew up in the 90s or 80s, computer games, video games, they were such a embedded into the fabric of people's memories and,
Yeah.
things like that. And so if you did get the chance to play with one, I bet for you, like you said, you were
Yeah.
as much as you could before it was taken away.
My family didn't even have get a household computer until I was like 16.
Mm,
And
because
that
they
was
had to.
2006. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but my grandparents did have a computer. So, um, even as a kid, I when we went to visit them down in Mobile, Alabama,
Alabama. Yeah. So they had a computer.
I would play Bejeweled as much as I possibly could. I love Bejeweled. I actually have it on my phone still. It's so satisfying. I love the colors and the music. It's just this awesome, like, did you forget to brush your hair this morning?
Oh no, I'm just incredibly vain. Um, so I was thinking, like your route into retrosynth and all of that. I mean, that's something that you've talked about on Daniel's show, but
Mhm.
from kind of from going to high school as an adult, like in your 20s, how did you get into being a folk artist and what did that look like? Were you releasing things or gigging?
Oh yeah. So the songs I was writing in high school,
Mm,
I was writing them as alternative rock or pop songs. But what I had at my fingertips was, a piano and a guitar.
mm.
So everything came out, being a piano or a guitar song. And I tried, I went through this huge um, emo phase where I was doing a lot of like pop punk type songs.
2004?
Oh, you know it. Yeah, from from 2004 to 2014
Right.
basically. I mean, it was just it was all like post-hardcore, metalcore,
Mm,
pop punk, any aspects of it.
yeah,
I really loved. I was performing at least once a week at an open mic
right.
in St. Charles at a place called Picasso's Coffee House.
Okay.
There, I kind of honed in my skills as an acoustic guitar slash singing performer, and I quickly evolved into like more folky music, upping my game
Yeah,
to play there. Because that's just what works with acoustic guitar. I realized like this is the natural flow for me
yeah,
because I grew up listening to this type of stuff and I learned to flat pick and I was like, all right, this is not enough. I learned a finger pick, I learned a Travis pick. So then there became a point where every single one of my songs was just a nice like finger picking song that was just emotive and expressive and vulnerable. Also, as part of the reason I stopped making that kind of music. Oh, the lyrics were just kind of like self-indulgent, like this is how I feel about something, or a story, just telling about, you know, a relationship or um, things that happen in life. And
That's not self-indulgent.
well, I mean, it depends on
I haven't seen them yet.
yeah, no. Yeah. And some of them were just, I don't know, just songs I thought would be fun songs to hear,
Mm.
fun to write. But they were all just, you write what you know, and I knew my life. So I was just writing about my life and putting them in these songs and playing them out a lot everywhere. Anywhere I could get a gig, and I ended up opening for some pretty cool people there. Like, I don't know, one time I opened for the Rocket Summer. I don't know if anybody
They might.
remembers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure they will. Breathe Electric, Never Shout Never, um, the Ready Set, a bunch of names that people would recognize in the alternative scene, even though I had already started to shift into this more folky side.
Hmm.
And then I was like invited to come play a VIP lounge at Starlight Amphitheater preceding a Ray LaMontagne show with Brandy Carlisle. And uh, that was pretty cool. I don't know. It was just mostly a bunch of coffee houses. And this is going into a whole nother thing where I ended up meeting up with a pop punk band and going on the road with them as their merch guy and playing my stuff at some of their gigs and then playing in a weird like acoustic side stage on Vans Warped Tour one summer. And yeah, I don't know where
And
you want me to stop.
and did you release any of this stuff kind of online or through a label, or was it mainly just playing stuff live?
Oh no, I was recording, what was it, 3 albums and 2 EPs, I think, that I recorded for this
And are
project.
they available online?
They are somewhat out there.
What are they out under?
I I don't want to connect this project with that project. That's always been like
Right,
my
separate
number one
things.
thing coming out with Dreampocket is this is a completely separate entity from anything I've ever done. And I don't want anything to like cross over for that.
Why is
And
that, if you don't mind me asking? Because I completely
because
understand it, but I just wonder why.
I have changed so much and those
Mm,
lyrics are so vulnerable and even specific sometimes that
yeah,
it's just like that's not me anymore. Some of it sure is like it's art I've created and a part of me or maybe who I used to be, but I don't know. They say every 7 years all your cells replace. So you're physically
yeah.
different being than you were 7 years ago. And I kind of feel that way about that
Why?
project.
Yeah, I think it's important to accept that you aren't your past.
Yeah.
That's something that in one of your songs that I was identifying with that we'll talk about. But I think that it's interesting that you haven't scrubbed it though, that you're happy for it to exist there. And if
Hmm.
someone comes across it completely by accident, you're glad for it to be out there and represent you. Because there's so many people that when they do feel that way about themselves, they're almost there's a wish for this erasure to take place, and you want to kind of kill it,
Yeah.
but you're letting it exist out there. Is it something you still do, or?
Well, I'm not good at keeping track of files for a long time, so I left them out there in case.
Oh, it's a nightmare.
No, but I know that there are some people out there who still enjoy
Yeah,
some of that music, and it's been partially scrubbed, but I've kind of left like some of the best of it just
cherry
in
picked.
certain places. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Would you ever want to explore the folk stuff again, or are you very much focused on what you're doing at the moment for now? Or do you do it both?
Um,
Actually, that's occurred to me. Do you still do it?
yeah, no, I don't have time to do
Right.
more than what I'm struggling to do, with Dreampocket. It's a lot of work
Yeah.
to launch a new musical brand
Yeah.
and to put out the content.
Well,
And
especially when everything is done bottom up 100%,
yeah,
you know.
exactly. Yeah. I mean, luckily I had a lot of experience of what not to do. That helped.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's given you such a good training ground doing all these different things with all these different people.
Hmm. Yeah.
Because a lot of people have just discovered this from just by themselves in their bedroom, and you
Hmm.
miss that kind of vital exposure that you need. That I think does help. You can do it without, but especially in this scene, a lot of people have just gone from computer games to making music at home,
Hmm.
and you're coming at it parachuting in from another perspective. And I think that again, that's probably why your work, why to me at least, it sounds so distinct and special and different to a lot of other stuff, is because I think you're bringing that all with you.
Yeah.
It just sounds fuller in just in terms of your melodies and writing and everything like that. It sounds a bit more realized. Again, it sounds like someone that's been doing it for a longer time.
Well, thank you.
How did you go from, how did you then pivot into doing this kind of music, which is way more, it's pop, isn't it? You know,
Yeah.
basically that's come from the club of the 80s, basically, kind of.
In my teen years, I did start to, of course, become exposed to more pop music. By then, of course, I was aware of like the Bee Gees disco era, which opened me
Mm,
up to the whole disco era. I had an ear for pop music. I found it very interesting. A good pop song was like nothing else, but from my upbringing and even my peers, in the rock scene, there's a lot of like people look down on pop music. And if you say that you like the Jonas Brothers, then you're excommunicated. And it's just like, once I grew up enough to really know, like, it doesn't really matter what anybody thinks, just listen to whatever the fuck you want, like, enjoy your life. And um I would hear Depeche Mode and be like, what is this awesome sound? I gotta go check this out. I'd go get the CD down at Slackers where they still had CDs and you could trade
yeah.
CDs for other CDs. um and I really liked stuff like Ellie Goulding, who writes her songs on acoustic guitar and can play a beautiful acoustic performance of her songs. But when you listen to the album, it's electropop. It's like, oh, this is awesome. Um, and even like later when Taylor Swift in 1989, retropop again. The Weeknd had been listening to him since before he was retropop, I guess. I had a friend in Kansas City who showed me the trilogy before it was the trilogy. It was just three EPs on SoundCloud
Mm,
that
yeah.
were awesome. Frank Ocean was coming out then, and a lot of interesting different movements in electronic music. And I latched onto these certain sounds. Listening to metal led to listening to dubstep, discovering artists like Nero and then Kavinsky happened, and Daft Punk put out a disco record, Random Access Memories, and it was just like certain sounds I was latching onto, like, okay, I can do this. It's a challenge. I want to make cool retro electro pop
Mm.
type music that's groovy, and I'm gonna figure it out as I go. I've got all the tools and the resources. I just got to figure out how to get the sounds together. And honestly, it's just been so much fun. So the pivot was just kind of like, gotta do this.
It was perfect. You're
Oh,
perfect at it.
too kind.
There's something really deceptively difficult about the perfect pop song. There's so much to it. So much to great pop songs. They're far harder than people realize. Like um like your songs. And in terms of that pivot and listening to things like the beat, it kind of takes me back to the oldies as well. Through various times in history, like in the late 80s, there was a big 50s oldies revival. You know, things
Hmm.
like Back to the Future and Madonna's like True Blue, that sort of thing. So that's how I got quite into that.
Oh yeah.
Because it was fashionable and I heard it a lot. And suddenly there were all these commercials on TV for CD compilations of like Buddy Holly and people like that. And then in the early 90s, there was kind of like a 70s thing and a disco thing. So all these different movements that come and go. there was nothing more hideous in the 80s than anything 70s. Anything disco, flares, any of that in the 80s.
Oh yeah, just like
Horrendous.
nothing worse than the 80s when you're living in the
Oh
90s.
my God, we used to laugh. We'd go in like shop, like Goodwill in America, like where you have all the old clothes and you'd see
Right.
like 80s ski jackets and we'd just be laughing and laughing. And then of course in
Yeah.
2013 hipsters are all wearing all wearing that stuff. So it's cyclical and
Yeah.
I remember that 'cause I'm a bit older than you. I'm 42 and I remember old enough to remember things going in and out that you would laugh at and it's really confusing
Hmm.
because it's like
Now everything's happening all at once.
yeah, yeah. Well, that's the thing. Because of the internet, everything's in. Everything is in all the time.
Yeah.
And no one really looks down on anything like they used to. Because I remember, like you said, I remember having to hide things I liked. I would go to college and listen to I was with the kind of indie crowd, like lo-fi indie people, where they'd be tracking down a Spanish pressing of five vinyls and again it was people that played in tiny little clubs with like
Hmm.
a theremin and an acoustic guitar, and I hated it. I hated it because I'd be going home and I'd be listening to Tiffany. I'd be
Mm.
listening to like a huge weeb like J-pop, anime music. I'd be listening to stuff that
Yeah.
my friends they would have scalped me.
Yeah.
And you would have to hide it. And so you'd be wearing all these stupid indie clothes, listening to music I didn't even like, and hiding this entire side, and nobody does that anymore now. I mean, there's stuff that isn't as cool as other stuff,
Yeah.
but I think there's a real democratization because of the internet, and it is all because of the internet.
Hmm.
And I think that along with that, though, I think things have lost their meaning a bit more. Like the kind of and I don't know if that's good or bad, because the kind of music you'd listen to meant something about you, whereas now I don't necessarily think there's as much projected onto what you like as there used to be, or people are discovering things, but what they're not discovering is what it meant to like them, like what it meant to like David Bowie or something like that.
Hmm.
But I don't know if all that
No.
stuff around people was bullshit in the first place.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
the era of icons in music is definitely dying.
I
I
spoke,
mean,
yeah. Mm.
there are artists that are very popular.
Taylor Swift is a taste of it, I think.
Yeah, but I mean, there's exceptions to any rule, but we're never gonna have another Bowie, you know? Like if Harry Styles had happened in the 60s and
Right.
70s, he would have been an icon, but he's happening now. So it's already happened so much that people automatically compare him to something else.
And I think there's too much access to people because if they can talk directly, like tweeting, there's nothing like a celebrity when they started tweeting to immediately burst that bubble of this kind of. Because I think celebrities are kind of the pagan gods for the
Yeah.
modern era, especially someone like Madonna.
Yeah. Oh,
Her
yeah.
level of fame in the 80s, Michael Jackson, Madonna, it was almost supernatural. People don't understand how I talked to Dave about this on the show about memory design, and just whole airports would come to a standstill if they flew in.
Hmm.
And I think, I remember Lady Gaga kind of having that. I think she's one of the last people in about 2009 before the internet really got hold.
What about like K-pop bands?
Mm. Yeah, 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 I suppose there's because in Asia there's that model of the music industry is still a bit more traditional in that they still have music shows. CDs are still that, certainly in Japan, CDs are still
Oh, yeah.
predominantly the main format. Whereas here we had like Top of the Pops, there was American Bandstand, Solid Gold, where there's something different about watching a music video to watching an act actually performing in a studio to the
Hmm.
track. I think the engagement is just all online and I don't know, it takes something away from it, but I don't quite know what it takes away. It's weird. I don't
Uh,
know.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's pros and
Mm,
cons. People say, is it bad? You know, is it horrible the way things are changing? I mean, it's not good. It's not bad. It's just
yeah.
it's just life, you know. That's the way the universe works.
Yeah,
Things are always evolving and changing and growing, and it's scary and it's unknown, and that's what makes it so great. I don't know.
yeah.
I mean, things are tough to navigate, but
Well, also you don't know until the future what the past is like. You can't really
yeah,
reflect on a
that's
moment
right.
as it's
Like
passing.
everyone's like, "Oh, TikTok is the worst thing that happened to music ever." Like, oh, it's just like everything's gonna have to adjust to TikTok. And now they're saying it's gonna get banned
Right.
and just disappear. So like, who could have predicted that? Don't know if it's actually gonna go through, but
I think TikTok has almost become like how the radio used to be until TikTok and things like TikTok on Instagram. I wouldn't know what songs were popular. I wouldn't hear them.
mhm,
But because you hear the same songs that go viral in videos and things like that Sabrina Carpenter one and things,
mhm.
it's almost like in the old days where songs would become hit, like viral just means hit.
Oh yeah.
But for a while on the internet, you couldn't hear anything unless you wanted to hear it.
Mhm.
So it's almost like having the radio back and organically hearing things.
Yeah, and see that would be one of the pros. I mean,
I think so.
it just depends on like who you are and
Mm,
what your experience has been with it. If you hate it or love it, I know like some artists personally that have made their success through TikTok, and that's
yeah.
how they got known. And now they go out and play a bunch of shows and have successful music releases all because of TikTok. So that's awesome. You know,
Don't blame the
yeah,
platform.
no.
In terms of artists that you liked, Depeche Mode is such a touchstone for so many people,
Oh
especially
yeah.
in synthwave. Did you ever like kind of pre-Stranger Things? Were you ever into Kate Bush at all? Because I imagine she'd be someone that you'd quite like.
I was really into a cover of Running Up That Hill by Meg Myers.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Placebo, but I think I know the
Oh,
one you mean. Yeah.
yeah. And there are a couple
Mm.
versions of that song. So yeah, I was aware of that song, and I went back and listened to her version when I found out when I find a song I like and it's a cover song, obviously I
Yeah.
got to go check out the original. So I had that song in one of my retro pop Spotify playlists on my artist profile before it was on Stranger Things, and I was like,
Mm.
oh, it's this song again that I've been listening to, and now the whole world loves it. So that's
Well, I'm so glad it's that song that the whole world
yeah.
knows her for, because before that it was Wuthering Heights, which
Hmm.
was kind of like kooky and funny and actually an incredible song, but it was, people, especially again in the 90s, just laughed at it. Whereas Running Up That Hill, it's incredible because that, I think is it maybe all on a Roland or a Lin or something, but the riffs in it is very simple, but it's incredible and it's
Hmm.
so good that that's the song people know her for because she's singing in the later all that later 80s era
Oh,
or
it's
mid
such a cool
80s
song.
era.
The drums in that
Yeah,
song are
yeah,
so epic.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
it's it's a march, and that whole album is incredible. So getting on to music, we'll kind of drag ourselves away and get into your discography, and I want to go in chronological order because why the hell not?
sure.
And
Start at the beginning. A very good place to start.
I've I've gone off. It is actually. I've gone off Bandcamp. Now I realized a couple of you. It doesn't always order everything chronologically. So I think there's a song from 2018 that goes anyway.
See, Moonsmoke is in a weird place because I put out a special edition re-release of it, and I didn't.
Moonsmoke Plus.
Moonsmoke Plus, yeah. So that song was my first single for this project.
So,
Yes.
so Scene Queen is the first one that appears on Bandcamp. But if we start off with um Moonsmoke.
Hmm.
Moon is a smoky eye, watching everything we do tonight.
I wanted to kind of, as a listener, kind of wanted to tell you what I thought about it. It's to me, it's that thing of the lover's journey, and then under the watchful moon, it's almost like there's many kind of things in mythology and poetry about the lover's journey, and And I noticed throughout all of your lyrics, eyes are like real recurring themes.
Oh yeah.
So obviously the moon's smoky eye, it's a smoky night.
Eyes are the windows to the soul, you know.
Well, yes, exactly.
Very important aspect of the human existence is your eyeballs.
And eyes are doing different things in your songs depending as well.
Oh yeah. Well,
Um,
this is interesting.
well, it's obviously the moon, it's like the subconscious, the divine feminine, like Diana, the huntress, and all of that. And
Ah,
I just wanted to know about the kind of the background of this song and
sure. Um, uh, so this would be one of those. A lot
mm.
of Dreampocket songs are also based on some actually reoccurring dreams I've had and themes in those.
Well, I try to analyze them like dreams.
Right. So
Yeah.
Moonsmoke is not one of the dream songs
Right.
because it is based on a real life experience. It was one of
Mm.
the last songs I wrote before I really decided to double down on retro pop because I realized that this song cannot sound like any of my other stuff. It's got to be a completely different sound, is completely different name, different artist, And I knew this was going to be a shift in a new direction.
Mm.
So that's why it's the first song we recorded for this project. Um, it's just about driving around Smoky Mountains with someone you care about, and just kind of feeling free and enjoying each other's company and um, that sort of thing.
'Cause I think it's probably Detect obviously has changed everything for everyone.
What?
There's lots of people have been saying, no, this is now my favorite Dream Pocket song.
Oh
I
wow.
think this one probably just still is for me, and I wonder if it is because it's the first one where you've jumped in and it still has that element of that old writing.
Hmm.
Well, maybe that's not the right way to put it, but you know,
I know what you mean.
yeah. And I just something about it. I don't, and I like the kind of that chanty outro, like taking any road, take another take it to the back seat.
Hmm.
I like kind of that, and I think you've done that a couple of other times, and it's almost like a bit of a Greek chorus thing going on where it's this narrating. Something I noticed throughout it is like taking it slow. Is that just a stylistic choice in the lyrics, or is there something particular about this process, this journey, this relationship where it was about being cautious or slow?
I think it's just supposed to it's to be more sensuous, actually.
Yes,
Yeah.
like slow, like
Yeah.
smoke.
Yeah.
Mm.
I mean, obviously you'll find sex a recurring theme in some of my songs, but
Yes.
it's always quite subtle. I try to keep it that way. Sometimes, I guess, or one or two times it may not be, but um, in this case, yeah, it's just about like the really having a chance to drink each other in and
Mm.
just, what, do what you feel in the
Yeah.
moment.
Naked cuddles.
Sure, yeah, just there's like no pressure, there's no guilt. It's just us doing our thing. And
Yeah.
we don't have to rush it. You know, we're on vacation.
We
Yeah.
the moon smoky eye is like one of the coolest opening lines. I'm really jealous.
It
It's like,
happened to
oh,
be,
God, I love
yeah.
that.
Nothing is more inspiring than a good nature moment. Like,
Mm.
um, the full moon drifting through the clouds is always one of my favorite things to see.
Moonlight itself.
Yeah, and when you're driving around the mountains, sightseeing and the sun goes down, the full moon comes up. It's beautiful.
Well, it's transformative, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's the light of the moon, and you don't often see it unless you are somewhere rural.
Hmm.
But moon shadows are really strange because it's nothing is
Yeah.
entirely black, and
Hmm.
it's this kind of again smokiness of the shadow, and the kind of this weird greeny silver bluey luminescence from moonlight.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's there's no other way to look at it other than it's like this spiritual experience, and
Yeah.
you couldn't believe that someone could be under that and not even notice it. But you
Yeah.
know,
And
some people do.
it's especially enhanced with a nice little toke sometimes. So
Well, exactly.
yeah.
Yes.
So there's the double meaning there.
Yeah. Um, Scene Queen.
She's a scene queen. She got some killer ink.
It just doesn't sound like someone that's come into it green. That's the first thing I said. Obviously now
Mhm.
knowing you haven't, and I'm interested in the protagonists of the songs as well.
Ah.
Um, and there's an idea of this
Oh dear.
person, this woman, and it's like you're doomed to repeat this cycle,
Mm-hmm.
like Sisyphus in Greek myth, the guy that is doomed to always roll that mountain up the hill.
Yeah, I know him. He's a pal.
I like the little slap after every line as well, and the sub bass that you hear at the very end.
Oh
But
yeah.
yeah, I don't want to get. It's not really about the kind of technicals of it, but I like those. There is a recurring theme of these almost like these anima-like figures, these divine
Mhm.
females in the songs
Mm.
that are irresistible, and it's almost like it's not something bad, but you're drawn to them and you keep repeating it. Was this a real person on a real night out in this real kind of? I'm imagining it like a gig or something,
Mhm.
and that you're drawn to them.
Scene Queen is uh a lot to unpack, I suppose. Well, I'll try to keep it.
No, exactly. I was hoping
I
that.
mean, it's a reoccurring um theme in real life.
Mm.
Um of I don't know. I mean, this is definitely one of the less subtle sexual references in my music. And yeah, there was actually one particular
Mm.
girl that the song was originally inspired by. But I mean, that's all I'm gonna say about that.
Jane
I
Doe.
mean, I'm a very
Mm.
romantic sort of
Right.
person. I don't know if you notice that listening to some of my songs,
Maybe.
but I get really into the feelings of the
Yeah.
situation, and you know, that's not always reciprocated, which is totally fine, but sometimes you just really wish it would be, you
Oh
know?
God, yeah.
Yeah. So Scene Queen kind of represents those
Yeah.
situations. And I did actually write and perform this song as an acoustic song with just finger picking. Like the
Oh,
guitar
cool.
in the song is um just how I wrote it, I mean, it's one that I'm definitely really proud of. And I think that touching on what you said, I may do an acoustic EP
Oh,
of some of
yeah.
my Dreampocket songs
People will go wild for that.
to kind of like demonstrate how they sound when they were written, because Moonsmoke was also written on acoustic guitar.
That would sound even better on an acoustic guitar. Oh, oh my God, I'd love that. Um,
So I'm translating. I literally like, okay, so when I moved to
yeah.
Nashville, um, I met these guys in a band called Jet Black Alley Cat,
Okay.
and don't get to talk about them enough in some of these interviews because we're just so short for time. But you guys, I know people listening to this are fans of retro pop and retro wave. Go listen to them. They're currently on an indefinite hiatus, but their singer introduced me to their drummer, who was also their producer and engineer. So they hooked me up with recording and engineering Moonsmoke and Sing Queen
Right.
back to back. Joseph Jett is now doing a solo project. Dude has a great voice. I gotta go check him out. He sings background vocals on Moonsmoke with me. So
Ah.
the part you were talking about, take
Yeah, yeah,
any
yeah.
road, take another toe, take it to the
I
backseat.
thought that
That's
was all
me
you.
and him.
Ah, okay.
It's both of
Right.
us. So I think we recorded each of us singing it 2 or 3 times. And then put all 4 or 6 of those tracks together.
The doubling. Yeah.
And Bryant Lowry, who is also a solo synthwave artist you guys should check out, who is the drummer, mixed them in a way that it was like kind of a call and response. Like he'd say one line, I'd say another line.
Mm.
Joseph Jett if you go check out his solo stuff, or if you listen to Jet Black Alley Cat,
I was going to say Jet Black Alley
yeah,
Cat.
you'll recognize his voice probably from, you'll be like, oh yeah, that's one of the voices in Moonsmoke, all right. And he actually helped me write Sing Queen as well a little bit. I only had one first verse that I was repeating
Right.
in the song when I played it live, and when we recorded it, I was like, oh, we need a second verse, and we were like coming up before we entered the studio, of course, and he was like, all right, well, the first one is like, she's singing, so he's going off that. He just goes, she's a bad girl, and I was like, that's it, that's all I need. I took that and wrote the second verse with that. It was really cool. He also helped me arrange Moonsmoke. It would have been like 7 minutes if I did it the way it was
Extended
written.
version.
Yeah, extended version.
I'd like
Yeah.
to hear that one.
Oh, it's just the chorus as it is now was the pre-chorus.
Oh, I
and
see. Yeah.
the bridge was the chorus. So I just had everything going way too long. And that comes from listening to a bunch of those Bee Gees songs.
Yeah.
That are just like part after part after part,
Especially
I was heavily
these
influenced
days.
by the disco format.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's already it's still a 5-minute song, so or longer, I don't know.
Because everything has to be. I'm conscious of that. Everything, not like obviously TikTok's about 20-second loops, but when you're submitting your songs to playlists, especially when you're new, it's all about you're pitching something, so you're almost having to go back to that old format, like radio MTV thing of 3 minutes perfect thing that grabs someone from the beginning. And it's easy to think you're going to front load everything with a chorus, and sometimes it's nice when there are enough people listening that you can chill out a little bit, or you can just do what you want. But it's always frustrating when you've got to think about imposing limits for your own good.
Despite having, discovered things like Submit Hub, and despite TikTok, my songs are not tailored for a curator's ears.
And you've done so well, which is proof.
And will continue not to be, perhaps.
Well, that's proof, though, that you don't need to. You're proof of that.
I guess. I don't know. I mean, I don't really... An artist can't really tell exactly how far their reach is, because you never know, like, exactly who's listening to what or where. Yeah. But the fact that anybody's listening is really cool.
With regards to things like Submit Hub and daily playlists, I always tick the option of no feedback. I don't want. I don't want it. I don't care. Like I'm.
Yeah, especially some of the curators on Submit Hub.
Yeah.
Charge $4 to listen to a minute of your song, and then
I'm
tell
too
you
fragile.
that why.
And I didn't make it to be reviewed. I want it to be played.
Right. Yeah. No. Like
Yeah,
I'm not paying you to review my song. Yeah. I want. If I'm giving people money, I want to know that like something good's gonna happen with the song.
Yeah.
So that's why I just like I definitely have tried the Submit Hub thing, and I've had some success on there. Not a lot. My stuff is tough to categorize sometimes. But the exception, or the people who've approved it on Submit Hub, some of them have been really great.
When they like you, they really like you, and they're really supportive.
Yeah. Like that's how I found RetroSynth, and how RetroSynth found me.
It's kind of elevating you, giving you that reach that's harder to get yourself without slaving away, I guess, at stuff that you might not necessarily want to, like, or care about doing, like the whole social media side of it. Because undoubtedly anyone making music now has to go into that world of self-promotion.
Yeah. Whether you're signed to a label or not, your promotion is still on you. Like a label is going to do what they can, and definitely going to expand your reach. But yeah, we still live in a world of content. So
it's just giving you the opportunity to make the work you're doing for yourself go that bit further, I guess. But you're right about that. It really is.
Yeah. And in my case, I help I'm I help with the marketing on
Mm.
RetroSynth too. So I'm also helping to sort of promote some of our other artists, in different ways, which is fun working with those guys. And it's been a great way to meet people
Yeah.
in the community, and just some awesome collaborations are happening because of it or have happened. And um, I don't know, it's just been a really cool experience.
It's hard. It kind of harkens back to the days when you'd be on the road with bands, just in a slightly different format, I guess.
Sort of, yeah, like we're all on the same road together, but
Yeah.
it's virtual.
Yeah. And you're on road.
Yeah.
Speaking of virtual, I don't know, I didn't think that I would. It was always a song that I liked, especially musically. I liked, and Starshine. I'm talking about,
Oh,
but
yeah.
it's the one that I've ended up really having the most to say about in terms of the
Oh,
lyrics,
really?
because I think the bio on Bandcamp about it, and I've based a lot of my thing on Bandcamp.
Hmm.
Obviously, your stuff's on all the other formats and places and Spotify and things like that. It's kind of doing the arcade job in terms of how it sounds, and it puts me in mind of a Super Nintendo game called F-Zero,
Hmm.
which it has that really chilled kind of arcade
Yeah.
vibe.
All credit to the
But
music goes to MK Khan
right, is it? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
for
That's
that one.
yeah,
Yeah. Um, he is a really prolific producer, in my opinion, in the synthwave scene. I met him early on,
yeah.
like after Moonsmoke and Scene Queen came out, I believe, or right as Scene Queen was releasing. I started to discover synthwave. I had no idea
Mm,
the term, what it was. I never heard of retrowave. I knew retro pop, but
yeah.
I think maybe he was one of the first people in the synthwave community that I came into contact with on Instagram back in 2018 or 2019. And I just asked him, "Hey, like, you want to do a song? Do you want to be like, give me some music and I'll add some stuff to it and you can be featured or however you want to do it. I don't care." And that was the first thing he sent me. So I was like, oh my gosh, I have music from MK Khan in my hand. So
What a thing.
the lyrics and the melody and my guitars were all just written for what he wrote. And
I think it's fabulous. I love it.
Why you staying in? Why you hiding now? How come I never see you out on town?
The lyrics really chime with me. I don't know how many people have felt like the person in the song, but it's that idea, as I mentioned earlier, sometimes of letting go, not being defined by your past or
mhm.
the inner child, that path to individuation, isn't it? But the person,
Yeah, well, it comes back to that.
well, the person in the song, and I love the opening line, staying in, hiding out. And it's seemingly simple wordplay, but within those two or four words, there's kind of a lot to unpack. And I think language is such a gift, and each language has its own things that it can do. And I like wordplay, and I find that your lyrics are really full of interesting things going on. But I wanted to know more about the person in the song, because they're presumably moving from inland towards the beach or the sea, and
Right.
the beach being a liminal space and the sea being symbolic of like new horizons and transformations, the subconscious.
Hmm.
Is that
Yeah.
based on anyone at all?
Starshine is autobiographical,
Oh,
but I switched some things around
yeah.
to make it a better
I
song,
wondered if it was.
which is not usually my style. I think it's the first time I've got a couple of like folk songs that are stories, from other
Yeah.
people's perspectives, but this, I've never taken myself and like, is it the girl is the subject of the song? I thought that sounded better. She moves to the sea so far from where she was born. Sounds better than he moved back to the same old city where he was born,
Yeah.
which is what I did. But it was like a renewal process for me that I was going through with this new project still. And I hadn't really reflected on that in music, the whole like moving back to Nashville, um, and starting over with a new project.
So I literally wrote down, is this abstract or maybe you're projecting? Are you singing about yourself? Is this an anima figure? And the idea, like the fact that you're moving back to Nashville and, having a rebirth, well, that kind of really
Mhm.
tracks with the imagery of the sea and refreshing thing. And it's almost like an alchemical process happening in the song, the hiding, that's like the nigredo, the putrefaction. And we've all had that stagnant
Yeah.
time when you don't want to go anywhere, you want to hide, and then the albedo, the white bit where you're kind of shedding the light on, and then it's
Hmm.
it's getting more gold and glowing, and you're
Yeah.
letting it build you up into till you're finally at the red stage where you're full of life and blood and flames, and you're ready to take this new thing
Well,
on.
there was definitely like I ruminated for a while. I mean,
Mm.
there came a time when I didn't really feel like going on or whatever. I had like a relationship fail and I moved, spent a lot of time just kind of not doing anything. I was working at a an auto shop and there were no concerts around, nothing to go out and do really. So I was just kind
Were
of,
your friends far away?
oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I was kind of at a transitional point in my life where like the friends from my youth were disappearing
Mm.
and I'm growing into a man and things are changing and
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
it's one of those things like the party can't go on forever. So what's the after party going to be like? For me, it was like,
You had an ego death almost.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it's one of the things that really separated me from my old project. But when I finally just like pulled myself out of the hole and was like, enough of this, like I still have this burning passion to create and
Burning
perform.
the flames, the
Yeah, it's
phoenix.
exactly
Yeah.
like you said. Yeah. So I just decided it's time to go to the city and see what I can do.
It's incredible because I've had almost that exact same thing, a relationship failing, having to go back to your parents in the country,
Mm.
having no one
Oh,
there. You've lost your connection to the city, and I don't, everyone, I think almost anyone of our generation has been suicidal at some point. Sometimes with me, whenever I felt like that, it's because of inward things rather than something that's been imposed on me.
right.
Because I think when something's imposed on you, you've got a bit of fight in you, so you never quite
Hmm.
get there, but you're fucking close.
Yeah.
And I remember that being so fucking bleak, being back in the bedroom that I had when I had been really low before, like as a teenager, all of those things. Just psychologically, what that does to you, you're ripped from this life where you're
Yeah.
an individual in a city and you're in a relationship and all of this, and then
Yeah.
having to go back, like that's a terrible reversal for anyone to have to go through. But it
Hmm.
gave birth, again, like you, it gave birth to a different me.
Yeah.
And it's an alchemical process.
Not everybody comes out of it that lucky.
No, I know. And it's
Yeah.
hideous because and you think it's only blind luck that you do.
Hmm.
If the
Yeah.
variables have been a bit different.
Yeah. If you're able to, if you come to that fork in the road,
Mm,
it, I mean, there's some people are faced with the choice. Some people, they have severe things that happen to them that
mm,
you can't get over.
yeah.
Then sometimes it's, um, your true character is really gonna be what does you in or what saves you
Yeah,
when
yeah,
you
yeah.
decide if you're going to just like keep going or not. And for me, there became a point where I was just like, you know what? Might as well just keep going and see what happens. And if things go south, it doesn't matter because I'm not gonna care.
Yeah.
And that mindset of like, nothing really matters, so it's okay if everything goes wrong, kind of taught me that, removing fear as many successful people will say is the key to success. Once you can balance that with, all right, what am I compassionate about? What do I care about? What are my convictions? And sort of maintain that balance, as I said. I think that's the key. That's the key.
Well, having suicidal ideation, I'm not assuming you were there at that point in life, but in some ways, if you certainly if you have an attempt, which lots of people have, and you for whatever reason it doesn't work, or you want to carry on, you almost have this thing of like, well, okay, I'll try again, but I can always kill myself if it doesn't
Yeah.
work out. I
Right.
can
Yeah.
always
Nope.
do it.
That's exactly where I
But
was. I'm not going to sugarcoat it
yeah,
for anyone listening. I know you guys have real lives out there
yeah,
too, so I'm going to be real with you. You you'll get to that point sometimes.
yeah.
A lot of people won't, but the people who
People
do,
might be now. Yeah.
when people tell you it gets better, it sounds like the dumbest thing you've ever heard,
Mm.
of course, but so it does if you let it. It's not easy. I mean, and I know again, everyone's case is different, and that mindset doesn't work for everybody, but um yeah, I've been to that edge and I've looked over it,
Mm.
more than once, and I've happy to say I'm still here
Yeah.
and glad to be.
It's something that if you could go back and tell yourself or show yourself things,
Mhm.
I sometimes wonder if meditating on that, or some people might call it a prayer, of people, whether you're religious or not. I don't necessarily think prayer is to do with religion, but
Mhm.
I sometimes send prayers to myself then now. I pray for myself then, and I
Yeah.
almost am
Oh wow.
sending it back to myself, and maybe in a
Oh
weird
yeah.
time loop that's reached me,
That's
and
so
that's the thing
cosmic.
that
Yes.
made me pull out of it. Maybe, I don't know, but it can't hurt, can it?
That's a beautiful thought. No, can't hurt. Of course not.
Just send it back, and
Yeah.
maybe you're going to
Yeah.
help you, because is time
Yeah.
linear? I don't fucking know. um Probably it is, but um
Yeah. This is like some metaphysical Doctor Who type shit. Like
well, that
I
the
love Doctor Who. We could do a whole episode on that.
I remember my favorite probably era of Doctor Who is 1989 series, the
The Paul McGann,
Cybermen,
was it
the
the
kind of
Paul
robot.
McGann special, or was it
I
the
can't remember, but I remember watching it.
Cybermen are always there.
Are they? Oh,
Every
okay. Oh,
doctor gets the
sorry.
Cyberman. Okay, no, it's all
I
right.
remember
I'll
it
do my
came.
Doctor Who episode with somebody else.
You're gonna have to. Well, I was a huge fan of Billie Piper when she was a pop star, and
Hmm.
I remember when she came back into it in 2005 for the
Yeah.
reboot. I was
She's one of those
loved
celebrities
her.
that's like, I would watch Big Fat Quiz and I'm like, oh, these are English celebrities. I have no idea who they are,
Yeah,
but I know who Billie Piper is because of Doctor Who.
yeah. Well, she's more famous for that than being a pop star, but she was
Yeah.
actually really successful. She had like number ones, and she was like initially marketed as like a teeny bopper, and then they kind of
Hmm.
tried to make her like the like domestic version of Britney. And I
Hmm. Yeah,
think
yeah.
she had a terrible time. She was only about 17. I think she was
Yeah.
anorexic and just was.
Oh
I
no.
think it makes mincemeat out of people that are teen. Well, look at Britney now. It's not
Yeah.
good.
But you like the Rose era of Doctor Who.
I no, for me let me find it. Let me
Or oh no,
find it.
the 89.
So yeah, well, I think it didn't carry on much past 1989 until it got to the
Right.
2000s. Yeah, season
That's right.
26.
It ended in 1989. Then there was a special movie
Mhm.
with the Eighth Doctor
Right. Yeah, Sylvester
and
McCoy, Sophie Aldred as Ace.
oh Sylvester, yes,
Yeah, I that for me, I have visceral memories of
Seven.
watching her Ace. I thought she was quite
Yeah,
cool. Yeah.
yeah. Doctor Who, I think it's kind of um like a lot of long running things like Saturday Night Live. Like your
Mm,
favorite era of the show
yeah,
is
the one.
the era you
Yeah.
discovered it.
But yeah, I thought that for me, this song, I just some you listen to someone's body of work, and there's just something that you project so much of yourself onto, and like I could see the transformation in the song. I didn't necessarily know if it was about you. Like I said, I thought it probably was, but yeah, it
Hmm.
was just. And I've noticed a lot of your songs I don't know if you do it on purpose, but they resolve themselves. And I think that's really important as well.
Hmm.
That they tend to end with some kind of resolution, rather than just existing as a state. And that
The,
may not be on purpose. I don't know. That's something that I thought I noticed.
it may be something that I've sort of subconsciously trained myself to do before.
Mm.
I mean, that might come from something. I mean, you'll have to give me a specific
I'll
example,
try
maybe
to,
see if this
yeah.
fits along. But I remember something my dad told me once about songwriting, and this comes from like his
Yeah.
religious views as well, saying like if you are gonna tell a story, like there's got to be a light at the
Mm.
end of the tunnel. It can't just be something sad and it's all sad. Like, and that was his opinion, of course, but it did like it made sense. I was like, yeah, people want to feel good when they listen to stuff. Sometimes it's appropriate not to, because
Well, it depends.
you
Yeah.
know, engaging with your
Yeah.
sadness can be a healthy thing too.
People
But
need a door, don't they?
I want Dreampocket to make
Yeah.
people feel good.
Mine
Yeah.
sound happy, but they're really not very nice. I had a question I forgot to ask
Yeah.
you about
Yeah.
Scene Queen.
Oh,
Why is
sure.
her world polarized? I seized upon that.
Because of her because of her sunglasses.
Ah, okay, okay. I see what you did there. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And you can't see it through the
No.
lenses, but
Yeah.
yeah, her eyes are like black
Because
holes.
I was thinking, is it contact lenses or yeah. Fine.
Oh yeah. I maybe should have had the girl on the cover wear
Oh well.
sunglasses.
I
I don't
just
know.
yeah, it's a little nugget that I retrieved.
Hindsight is 2020
We'll
with shades
send a
on.
message to yourself back and it will change like in Back to the
Oh
Future.
yeah, I'll remember to say that in my prayers tonight.
Roller Coaster, and it's beautifully naughty speed.
What you got to say about us now? Don't you ever think about that? Did you ever wanna love and not know how? Did you ever really wanna go back? Wait, it's too late.
Thank you.
I don't think I can ever have anything to say about any other songs like the kind of like I did with Starshine.
Yeah.
But
You hit the nail on the head though. That beat was definitely inspired by
yeah,
like 2000 sort of like Timbaland
yeah, yeah,
producing Justin
yeah.
Timberlake type
What
stuff.
goes
Like,
around comes around and all of that.
yes, exactly. Yeah, the big hand clap on the downbeat. I mean,
That was the pop
uh,
music was all, and I liked R&B like everyone else, but all of pop music sounded like R&B, or what people before that would call
mhm.
hip hop or R&B or black music. It's everything
Yeah.
like from Britney Spears, everything just
Hmm.
had that sound that
Hmm.
and it yeah, like Destiny's Child, those really clipped snares on everything. And my earliest
Yeah.
attempts at making music, I used this music. There was almost like toy, this music like game music software called EJ, and you either had a dance one or an R&B one. But I loved the R&B one because I could try and make these ersatz versions of Destiny's Child. Well, when how they'd reverse an orchestra hit, and all of the Max Martin songs would have that zing sound on it, and it was a reversed
Oh.
orchestra hit, and everything
Mhm.
had this R&B sound to it. Literally, that was just
Yeah.
what pop music sounded
Yeah.
like,
That was
and this is
yeah.
that.
That was pop
Mm.
genre. I wrote that song on piano.
Hmm.
The musical parts are as something I had with me for
Yeah,
years.
interesting.
And just like play and sit down and play and add to it and perfect it and add little riffs and like a couple jazzy notes here and there. And finally wrote lyrics to go with it. It's actually about the same girl as Moonsmoke was.
Ah, okay. Oh
Uh-huh. Yeah.
God.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Not surprised though,
But
because
it's
yeah.
also an example of real life Dream Pocket song that is a bit self-indulgent in the feelings and like may seem a bit self-centered, but you can't help but feel
What
that way
else are you gonna
sometimes
do? Yeah, I
after.
mean, fair enough. I don't
Yeah,
believe in being so. I think that um you should indulge as much as you need to, really.
yeah.
Drip all over the place. Um,
There's actually a Bible verse that says, and I think it's in Psalms, um, sorrow is better than laughter, for sadness heals the heart.
yeah, yeah. I find it
Yeah,
much easier to write songs that are if negative emotions, as they say, than I find it really hard to write about if I'm happy. Like it just there's
yeah,
nothing there.
yeah. It's hard to write a
Mm,
happy song.
it is.
Yeah,
Unless it's very shallow, and that you don't get a lot out of that.
yeah. There's a lot of happy songs out there that are not that enjoyable to listen to.
Hmm.
Because I mean, you can tell somebody was like, "I'm gonna try and make a happy song," and they did. And okay, it's kind of corny
Yeah,
usually.
but the broken vow in the song is that
Mhm.
I love you. What?
Uh, yeah, it's
Okay.
not a wedding vow.
No, 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 no. I was
No.
just wondering. Basically,
Yeah,
pouring your
it was
feelings
just
down a
the
well.
the promise to, you know, make it work, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and I'm
but
guessing,
yeah, there are extenuating circumstances though. Like it's all good.
right.
It's all good.
Because it's just that thing when I wrote down like what goes up must come down. Basically, which is, and it's so interesting that this is a continuation of the relationship that you write about in Moonsmoke, because anything that
Mhm.
starts that incredible, it's almost like it's too good. There will have to be a low and a high, and that
Exactly.
must have been one of the highs, you know, that Moonsmoke night.
Yeah, definitely the top of the roller coaster.
Mm.
Yeah.
On a roller coaster ride, not going around this time.
And it came down. I hate roller coasters.
Really?
Physically and literally, yeah, I hate them.
I like
I
them.
hate that feeling of dropping. But that's what people like.
I like it. Oh, it's
Ugh.
exhilarating. Nothing makes you feel more alive than feel like you're about to die.
I remember the last time I went to a theme park with friends, I just sat and chain smoked by the teacups as everyone was up on this thing going around. I was like, get me out of it.
I will try any roller coaster, and it's one of those things I just have to like
Mm,
decide. I have to separate my present self from my very near future self,
right.
saying I'm going to sit here and strap in, and then whatever happens is not my problem. I'll deal with it in a few minutes.
If it, like
And
if a screw comes loose or something like Final Destination.
oh, I didn't even think about that. You can't think about that.
That's why I'm
So,
sat by the teacups, not on the roller coaster. Or I'm on those, you know, those little trains that kind of do
yeah,
go around the edge of the park. I
yeah.
was on those with all the school children, just like,
There's a there's a place in North Georgia called Lake Winnepesaukah. It's a
okay,
family-owned theme park, and they have like the oldest wooden roller coaster or biggest, I don't know. But they have one of the trains and everything. My family used to go there a lot,
yeah,
and
that's where you'll
that was
find me at the
fun.
theme park.
Yeah. Last time we went, they had this drop. I think at Six Flags, it's called this Superman, where they just kind of drop you straight down.
So
Yeah.
Six Flags is like a chain of theme parks. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So it's like the
Um,
McDonald's of theme parks, basically. They're all over the country.
yeah.
Yeah,
As far as I know, I've actually never been to a Six Flags,
right.
but yeah, I think that's basically how it is. There's a few of them around.
Because we've got famous ones here, but they're just one-offs. It's not like, you know,
Hmm.
it's Thorpe Park, I think, is one everyone goes to,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's godless.
There's definitely a bunch of one-offs, and there's a bunch of just random roller coasters in places. Like one of my favorite roller coasters was when I encountered on tour. It wraps around a casino somewhere
Oh,
somewhere around Barstow, maybe.
right.
But
Like
it's
the
in
ones in
Nevada.
Las Vegas.
It's just inside the border, and it's one of those buildings that's kind of not surrounded by anything. There's an exit and a gas station in the casino, and
Roller
there's a
coaster.
roller coaster that goes through the building and wraps all the way around it. It goes down into a little cave, and it's
That's disgusting.
It's so much fun.
And you were on that going round and round, were you?
Yeah, I was underage, so I was 20. I was 20 years old
Oh, of
on
course,
that
it's
tour. So
21, isn't
like
it?
the
Yeah.
bandmates were out, like they were drinking and gambling. I'm like going on the roller coaster.
It's like a more dramatic version of me on the train. Um, so yes, Night People.
In the dead of the night, how do you survive alone each night? Tell me your secret and I'll show you mine. And maybe take me just a minute at a time, and we'll both get by for another night. Oh, 'cause night people spend too much time alone. Well, night people, yeah, only night people know.
Surviving a cold night. How can people be now? So it's talking about, how can people be alone? Share your secret, I'll show you mine. And I almost felt a little bit like part of being a night person is also like, how can you be a night person? Tell me, because I'll tell you how I can be too. We both are night people. How do you do it? Why do you love it? I don't know if I'm making sense, but it's like
Hmm. I get you.
I feel like I'm a night person, and part of
Hmm.
why I like it is because you feel like there's this sense, I don't know if you are, probably because when we wrote the song, but
Yeah.
part of why I love it is because you are alone with the world and
Hmm.
you're finally having this peace which there's no other time with when you'll have it, and you can
Yeah.
look out of the window. When I was a teenager, I used to look out, like lean out of my bedroom window and smoke and look at the moon and hear owls and things like that. And I still look back to those times and I will never feel anything as vibey as that. There's just, I fell in love with it, staying up late.
Oh yeah.
And I had like a friend on MSN, like on the internet in
Hmm.
America, that I talked to, and it was just something about being awake but communicating with someone far away. And I don't know what your experiences were like of the night and why you're a night person, but it feels like your song is about saying you're a night person and trying to ask why someone else can say why they are. That's my
Hmm.
interpretation of it anyway. I don't know if that's the case.
No, that is a huge aspect of that
The
song.
secret.
It's just I've always been, ever since I was a little kid, I just a touch of insomnia, I suppose.
Right.
Like I can't go to bed until I am ready to sleep right now, and I can't just lay down and go to sleep.
No.
As an adult, it gets easier because there's more to do and a tighter schedule. You're always tired, but
Uh, with
um,
kids, yeah.
yeah. But even now, it's like I'm up later than I should be, just because I do still love the nighttime. I love the peace and quiet, especially with kids. Once they go to
Yeah.
sleep, then like, oh yeah, it's time to have a relax party.
Yeah, that's the thing. You
Yeah,
feel like
yeah,
you're owed it,
yeah.
but then you've got work.
Right. With Night People, of course, this was written um before I was a father,
Pre-kids. Mm.
and yeah, of course, yeah. And I'm single. I'm uh up late at night, and I want to be up late at night with somebody. You know
It's a
what I
more
mean?
romantic time.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a 100% a naughty song,
Right, yeah.
but it tries not to be at the same
Yeah.
time. So yeah, I don't know. There was somebody specific
Hmm.
in mind I had was writing this song about. I shared
Secret.
a New Year's kiss with, actually.
Is that what the secret is? Share your secret.
The secret, um, it can mean whatever you want it to mean, but
Oh, what a cop out. Okay, fair
oh,
enough. But
you're asking all the like you're asking me to unsubtleize everything.
exactly, that's the point. You've opened the box. When
Oh, that's right. Pandora's
I
box.
wish you never.
That that reminds me of the line from Pineapple Express. No, what
Well,
were you
you're
gonna say?
telling on yourself here because then you write when
Mhm.
you saw the light in her eyes, was that the secret? And what was it? What's the light in the
The
eyes?
light in her eyes was sometimes when you kiss somebody for the first time, there's just
Implicit understanding.
a sparkle in the eye, a nice,
Okay.
just a lovely
Yeah.
glint of
Okay.
just like what a nice moment. I don't know. I mean, it's such a lame answer, but
No, but some things it's intangible stuff. Sometimes it's, the whole point of it is reading between the lines and not making everything explicit. I'm just really nosy.
I always try to put the intangible into words
Mm.
with my stuff. So
Oh yeah.
that's a cool question. Thanks.
Well, I like lyrics where people do kind of analyze it
Hmm.
and you leave. I like to try and leave like breadcrumbs and Easter eggs and things like that in. It's fun, I like artists where you do have to think about it a bit, and it might be that you're coming. I don't agree with everyone makes their own interpretation of a song. I kind of feel like I've failed. No, you have to understand exactly what I mean. But I know other people quite like,
I like that
yeah.
approach. Yeah.
Whereas I'm
And
more fascistic. I think I like only one meaning, and if people don't understand it the way I mean it, I've failed. But
mhm,
other people like, no, absolutely, I want people to project their own meaning onto my lyrics.
yeah. I'm waiting for you to get an artist on. You ask them about the lyrics. They say, "Oh yeah, I asked AI to write a song about this or that, and those are the lyrics."
Beautiful
And I
job.
just resonated with them as soon as I read them, and I knew I had to use them.
Oh, speaking of which, um, when we were talking about Submit Hub and daily playlists, a couple of occasions I submitted it and I didn't actually realize it was a blog. I thought it was a Spotify playlist. And
Hmm.
it was so obvious that they just got AI, like they pasted the lyrics of my song in and
Yeah.
they got AI like Chat GPT like write a
Uh,
review. And I
uh,
thought I've wasted a credit on that. Like, why bother? It was I
it's only one credit for that. Send me the link. I'll
Yeah,
submit.
okay. I won't say the name, but yeah, that really annoyed
No,
me. I thought
I think I know actually.
maybe.
Yeah.
I just felt like, oh, okay. It was
Yeah.
positive. That was good. But yeah, I just felt a bit
Yeah.
like, why do you even have a blog? Because presumably people that have blogs is because
Yeah.
they like writing.
Oh, it's to make money from Submit Hub. They approve
Oh,
everything
no, I see.
and post
Oh,
everything, and
I
then you
hate
get that
it.
dollar, and then people keep submitting because they keep getting
Oh, I
approvals.
hate it,
You know,
Sam.
yeah, I know. There's a lot of sketchy
Yeah.
stuff on Submit Hub.
Mm.
Don't get me wrong, there's some great curators and some
Yeah, I
awesome
think, well,
playlists,
the
and I
longer
have good
you're on
friends
it,
who are on Submit Hub and use it
yeah.
properly. But
And you
yeah,
get to sniff it
just got to be
out as well, I
careful.
think.
Yeah, you got to look at like feedback from other
Yeah.
art approvals
Mm.
and yeah,
That I
it's
think that was, yeah, early days when you just think
mhm.
everything's legit, don't you?
Oh, right. Yeah. I
Mm.
mean, sometimes you got to learn the hard way.
Yeah. It was a good
And one
review.
credit.
It was a good
It was
review. It
good.
was fine. Um, and again, there's kind of on the fade out of this, there's that slight Greek chorus question and answer thing as it's fading out.
Those background vocals are also Joe from Jet Black. I like that.
Okay. Sorry. Yeah.
And our friend Wyatt Urban,
Right.
who engineered everything after Scene Queen up until um Christmas Island.
How do you survive it? How do you get by? How do you survive
So
it?
it's a similar process with that one.
Yeah, so I would go into the studio, I would take my keyboards in there, and he had the Roland JDXI there.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And I did the same with Bryant. I would take my instruments over there and record them, and they would, I would watch them, engineer the music enough for me to finally learn how to do it.
But I was curious because the
Oh
next
yeah,
one, um Love Language, it's remix, but is there an original? Or am I being stupid?
there is, but it's not out there.
Ah,
Love Language Remix. There was a version called Love Language Rhythm
okay.
that I released early on, but I didn't feel like it was good enough.
Ah, right.
So I remixed it, added more guitars, added more percussion. This electric drum kit
Yeah.
right here, that you see
The
behind me.
famous one, yeah.
Yeah, I um, re-recorded the drums with that. and added more synths and just scrubbed the old version and put out this one and thought that'll be cool to have a song with the word remix of it and no other version out there, you know.
Let the rhythm get you high, the kind that catches like fire. All right, oh yeah, I want you to feel it, yeah. Rhythm is the language and we speak it, oh yeah. Share the love but promise that you'll keep it always. You just got to feel it to believe it. Love playing with rhythm.
Well, the genre really suits you. Like it's kind of almost like new disco. I think it suits your voice. It's really fantastic.
Thank you. That's that new disco sort of sound is one of the things that I knew I was going to be shooting for with this project.
Yeah.
Like I was talking about The Weeknd and Daft Punk earlier, and of course when they got together,
Yeah.
oh come on, yeah. But yeah, I love new disco, old disco, all the discos.
The cover art's really interesting as well. It's probably my favorite. There's two of you, like one upside down and this kind of Fruitopia kaleidoscopy. It's Fruitopia, but
Fruitopia.
people can imagine it if
Love
I
it.
say that. And eyes below are open and the eyes above are closed. Is there presumably that's the deliberate kind of symbolic thing going on there, and you've got green nails as well.
My nails are rainbow, actually.
Oh, they look green.
In the
to
filter,
my
they may look
eyes,
green
see.
with that filter. Oh yeah,
Damn.
well, you might want to get them tested.
I probably
No, but the
should.
filter, the color changing filter I have on it, probably
Giving me an aneurysm.
did away with the
Yeah.
rainbow. Yeah, I took that picture myself with a cell phone mount and my a carpet I ordered on Amazon.
So you're
It's
lying
quite
flat.
colorful, lying
Right.
flat down. Yeah, and I did 2 pictures,
Mm.
one with open eyes, one with closed eyes. And I didn't really know exactly what I was going to do with them. I just knew the aesthetic I was going for. And the whole like mirror but different sort of image idea just kind of came along as I was working on the concepts for the cover art, trying different things and putting it together. Yeah. So I don't know if it really symbolizes a
It
whole lot.
doesn't have to. I'm wanted to have another look at those nails again, actually, while I'm
Oh, yeah. I can send you the version without the filter on it so you can really see.
So send me the unfiltered as a matter of urgency, though.
Yes, the raw version.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you mentioned obviously, kind of haters and things like that in the lyrics. How do you deal with things like criticism or jealousy, if you get any?
In Love Language Remix, haters are pretty much anyone who criticizes you for being yourself.
Well, how do you feel? How do you handle criticism, or have you ever experienced like jealousy or anything like that creatively?
Creative jealous. Like, have I been jealous of other creators or?
Or no, if you've ever felt that someone's jealous or resents you, or like anyone critical of you, how do you deal with it? Or have you not luckily experienced
I just
that,
never hear
or
it.
rivalries?
I don't hear it.
Yeah.
People might,
Yeah.
feel the way they feel, but yeah, like the song says, I mean, that's none of my business.
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, how other people feel is none of your business. Yeah.
No.
If they don't like
Yeah,
you
I
or
really don't
whatever.
care. I mean, as long as I think what I'm putting out is authentic, then it doesn't matter because it's real.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not for everybody.
let that do the
And I'm
talking.
honestly surprised that people like it as much as they do. So that's just
Oh,
beautiful.
tell me
I
about
mean,
it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, no, I just picked up on that and I thought that was interesting.
Oh, that's a great question.
Time, yeah, and also time really is a thief. And lately I've been struggling with time and age, and
it goes by faster and faster.
It really
It's
is
wild. Oh my goodness.
I don't think you feel it until you get into your kind of mid to late 30s because you haven't had as much life to compare.
Exactly, that's what it is. Your perspective widens and then it's just like things start to go by.
It's relativity, isn't it, or something like that?
Yeah,
Like, you know, the
yeah.
yeah, because I would look at my parents and think to them everything seems like yesterday, and I'd be like, oh, ridiculous. That was like 2 years
Right.
ago, and now part of me, I'm like 2012. That was like what 6 years ago,
At
or something
most.
like that,
Yeah.
or 2014 or 2015. Suddenly, something that feels like a year or two ago is 10 years. And I was talking to my friend from school, high school, one of my oldest friends, and I said
Hmm.
he's really into Star Trek, and he said, "Oh,
Oh,
Star
yeah.
Trek Voyager's going to be 30 years." It came here a year later, but he's like, "It's going to be 30 years this year." And then I thought,
Mm.
hang on, I'll have known you 30
Wow.
years.
I was
1995.
5 years old when my mom used to watch that
I love
when it was
Voyager. It's my
live on. Like,
favorite. Kate Mulgrew.
hmm.
She's incredible.
I like all
Anyway,
the Star Treks.
yeah, no, Next Generation's good as well. And there's,
Next Gen's my favorite.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Troy's
Yeah.
my favorite character from that. Deanna
Deanna.
Troy, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, she's the empath.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Of
that's right.
course. Yeah. Who doesn't want a friend like that?
Yeah. I can sense they're afraid. That was it every
And when she puts her hand on the wrist, and it's like, you should feel calm
time.
now. It's like, yes, I do, Deanna Troy. I do feel calm now.
It's like
Yeah.
Dr. Quinn, medicine woman. Like she would always be like, "He's sleeping now." Every time, every
Oh my.
time. How is she? But yeah, so like that, for example, just thinking, I've 30 years, no way. Like
Mm.
how can anything in my life be 30 years ago? And I've always seen time in that way. I've had a complicated relationship with it, and it's so easy to personify it as this thief. And
Yes. Yeah.
it's I don't know. And then you try and think, is it real or not? And you think, well, it must be real because plants die and things like
Mm.
that, and cells die. So they're obviously operating within something, but is it just entirely made up by us? I don't know. But it's hideous.
What a strange thing to exist and to perceive.
Yeah, why? What an
Yeah.
odd thing. Why is that there?
Why?
Because surely
Why?
a system without time would be far more practical and with less moving parts. But food for
Wow.
thought with
Wow.
Dreampocket.
Yeah.
I feel like we're
I
two
love
15-year-old
that.
stoners or something like, dude, like having those sleepover
We're having it.
conversations.
That's deep, bro.
Um, and this one I was interested in this one where it's one of your most explicit references to dreams. Like, yeah, it was the dream real, like, and what are your relationships with dreams generally? Because one of your taglines is recurring dreams in
Hmm.
song form. It's a big part
Yeah.
of your artist's name, and I think
Hmm.
this song again, it's something where you're mentioning it in the lyrics, and I
Yeah.
don't know if it represents you and your artist name as a
Yeah.
track in itself, but it's kind of a two questions in one, really.
Yeah. Even the Dreampocket songs that are about experiences of
Mm.
mine are experiences that have influenced some of my dreams.
Mm.
But as a young kid, I had a ton of dreams every night, crazy, just cinematic, sweeping landscapes, outer space, just,
Mm.
you know, undiscovered worlds. And I can fly in my dreams. Um, there's a specific reoccurring dream that I've had since I was really little. Um, I had to have been probably 3 years old
Mm.
when I had this dream, if that. The sky completely, just a wall of jet planes coming through, blocking out the entire sky. It was so strange. And that dream has kept evolving. Planes in the sky, planes on the horizon. And then when I got older into my mid late teens, explosions on the horizon. And maybe they're not just planes, but some kind of, just unexplained just some kind of aerial craft. And it kind of turned into like a sci-fi dream where I'd be with someone and like I'd be with my girlfriend or I'd be with a family member and we're trying to escape either
Mm.
extraterrestrial invasion or some kind of like beginning of a next world war, and everything's
Mm.
starting to go to chaos and you have this one person with you to just like grab onto the hand, go find a hiding place with, or just stand in the shockwave and you know give in to it or whatever. Just
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I hope that paints enough of a picture for that. So
Yeah, it's interesting how the recurring dream that's evolved in the course of your
mhm,
life.
it's been
And
weird.
because I think it might be that it's a dream that started about struggling with kind of control and going places and clarity being blocked by options and not being able to control them. And then as you've got older, it's become more aggressive, but you've had a bit more agency in terms of being able to protect things and weathering those things that are coming.
I don't know.
It's so
I really don't
interesting.
know.
Dreams
Yeah. Oh,
are.
yeah. They definitely are. I mean,
I'm
there's
obsessed
been
with them.
like a bunch of
Yeah.
other reoccurring themes in my dreams and stuff. And I will say, I haven't had as many dreams the past decade as I used
Mm,
to. And if I do, I'm not remembering them as much, which is fine. I've got a lot of I got a lot to go on still, but
yeah.
um I can still get my mind to that like ethereal, dreamy, liminal, as you said, sort of mind space when I write my stuff, because that's just kind of how I interpret things
Yeah.
in my brain for some reason. I don't know if that makes any sense at
You're
all.
still able to tap into it. No, well, that's what I think most children instinctively operate in that mode. And as time goes on, it's slowly everything becomes really concrete. And being able to still tap into that is something that is
So
fantastic. And it becomes an effort for some people, but to have that as a resource
yeah,
there, go into that space. Well, it's suppose that part of you that keeps that inner child alive, or tries to.
yeah,
But then sometimes I find you can be held back by keeping the inner child alive as well. The idea of your
yeah.
past pulling you, it's a real
It's
struggle.
balance is again a
Yeah.
key here. I think balance is a really, you hear a lot of people say balance because it's an important word.
Well, it's
Moderation,
impossible to achieve as well.
that's another
It's so
ironic
hard.
thing about it, but or
Yeah.
um, but we do what we can. But that
Mm.
leads directly into like um my next song, Landing Zone.
Across the galaxy to tell you it's what you need. We come in peace from far away to take over you. It's what you need. We swear we only come in peace. This one's in the bed. You'll see the better future once it comes.
The landing zone. And first of all, I love the bass. And
Oh,
I hope
thank you.
that isn't a real guitar. Please, can that be a synth? But
The bass line in Landing Zone
yeah,
is a blend of synth
I
bass
thought it might be.
and
Yeah.
bass guitar.
See, I love synth bass
Yes.
and particularly that kind of DX7 FM
Yeah.
bass. And I'm glad it's a
I
blend at
told
least.
I told Wyatt um that
Ah,
I gave Wyatt the bass and I said I want you to do like just a bouncy, funky
yeah.
thing. I told him pretty much exactly what to play, and he did it. Boom, 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 boom.
Mm.
I took that. I was like, all right, it needs to be funkier. So then I went in the synth and boom, 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 boom,
Was it
boom.
like an FM bass, or do you remember what patch was it? A patch, or was it like? Because it sounds a bit like DX7.
It
I don't,
is from the
right,
Roland.
similar
It's
beast.
from the JDX. But I'm
Mm,
not. I don't remember
right,
exactly which
yeah.
voice it is or what the settings were we had. I was just like messing with it until I found the right
Mm.
tone.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is
I that's really cool. That jumped out at me and I thought it's either a blend
mhm.
or it's synth or it's someone that's incredibly dexterous.
Yeah.
So all of them.
It was a blend, and we may have even had to like patch in the little high notes.
Just to get
You
it a
know,
little bit more bouncy. Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, because it is quite a fast reach to go from boom, boom, boom to and
Right.
then right back to yeah, yeah,
Yeah, you'd have to have incredibly thick fingers, which Wyatt does.
yeah. But the whole like guitar and bass bouncing off of each other with the disco and all this was directly influenced by the Bee Gees and their band in the 70s
Yeah.
on their like Spirits Having Flown album. Pretty much every song on Bee Gees' Greatest is just like everything's happening left and right and bouncing in every note there's a different thing happening and but not at the same time they all like take turns happening but very very
Mm.
quickly. It's one of the things I love about disco is so precise, and funk like you have to be right in the pocket
Well,
with every different part.
especially when you consider that it was only later disco that was electric. The
Mhm.
precision on it being people don't
Yeah,
realize that. Yeah.
no, it's a band playing the
It's so
music
tight.
on songs like Tragedy and Staying Alive. Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
real music. Yeah,
And
real dance pop.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, when I think about that,
crazy.
because I like some later disco that with electric elements as well.
Me
But
too.
sometimes you can't always tell because they're so good.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Like I don't use drum machines or VSTs, but like I really like the music that people make. Like with as long as they're like putting in compositional effort, it doesn't matter. If somebody you could say somebody made this,
Yes.
you know, that is a beautiful
You
thing.
know, that's something I was
Yeah.
going to come to a little bit. We can talk about it now. It's a little message
That's
I'd
fine.
noticed on some of your songs. I think it was the Christmas Island cover where it says contains no samples, AI, nor MIDI. And I thought made me laugh because there's so many people that will instantly be struck by guilt when they read that. It's
It's
for me.
it's not meant to strike anyone with
No, 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 in
guilt.
a funny way.
No, it's
In a funny
right,
way.
right. No, but I mean that is just there to, you know, make the
Well,
song more
also, I
interesting.
think I think it's fair
A
enough.
lot of people assume now, especially in the synthwave community, that everything they hear is a patch.
Yeah.
And I just, I like I like I like to show my work, I guess,
That's what it marks you as quite different, you know. That's why I think people really like your music because they know that. There's just that extra thing in it, that extra kind of wow. I remember feeling for a long time like a charlatan because I started off making music with things like loops and samples. I think most people do. And then you get to the point where you feel constrained by it because you're not able
Mhm.
to do things. You've got this idea in your head, and then I began chopping them up and
Yeah,
adjusting
big one.
things by semitones. And then at that point, I'm like, if only there was and then you think, if I'm having to do this,
Hmm.
surely I should just do it myself. And then you discover MIDI, and then you're
Yes.
away. You never look back.
Yeah, there you
And then
go.
you've got all the
Yeah.
you look back at all of the libraries and things, and you just think, oh, I don't want none of it. What's the point?
Yeah.
I don't want to do it if I can't make it because I haven't done it. And it might not sound as slick, but it
Yeah.
makes you never want to do that again. And things like kicks and snares and hi-hats, whatever, it doesn't really matter
Hmm.
where people get those. But when it comes, like you said, when you're putting a compositional element into it,
Yeah.
you feel free because I think there is all that thing in the back of everyone's mind where you feel like a charlatan making electronic music. Even if putting things together is an art, it's not. You haven't really made it. But I think
Right.
once you start, like you said, adding that compositional element into it, it
Hmm.
completely changes and you can never go back from that. So what it must feel like hearing that, especially AI, as
Hmm.
someone that it's not like you've got a point of saying, I do this, but it must be frustrating for you when you are someone that literally makes everything from the bottom up. There must be a part
Hmm.
of you that feels a little bit like, probably at least with the AI especially,
Hmm.
because I don't understand. I understand people using loops or samples because they can't do anything else, and especially if
Right.
they're a singer, they want to make a track. I hear it all the
I mean,
time. That's the thing. If
but
anyone
there
says anything, you're
definitely are,
found out
yeah,
because you know.
there's definitely, right, just people who are gonna
Yeah,
throw some things together and like, I made
but
this.
I feel like AI. I feel like what is the point? Because
Mhm.
it's a bit like the
No point.
blogs. Why would you make an AI song? I mean, why? I don't understand it.
I understand if you have a desire to put something out, or to just be a part of the whole movement, with it, be it synthwave or whatever, or just like, or maybe, people just can't make
Yeah,
anything and they want to create an identity for themselves. They say, oh, with AI, I can be a musician. I don't know. I'm sure that everybody has their own reasons and
yeah,
comes at it from a different um, place. But for me, listening to music, the whole point of it is like, wow, someone made this. How did they come up with that? Wow, how
yeah.
did they do that? Wow, how do they achieve that
And
sound?
you know when someone's done it.
And with AI, there's just oh, a computer made this.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so big
I
deal.
mean, yeah, it
Okay,
sounds good,
yeah, I
but
mean,
it's not.
does it though?
Yeah.
Sometimes,
No, no.
sometimes it might sound.
And you can tell
Yeah.
when a singer is not real as well. I'm noticing that more and
Yeah.
more.
And now they have this thing where you can like sing it yourself, and then the AI can replace
And
the vocal for you.
people
It's
don't
like,
know,
oh
but
my
I
gosh.
might have to edit this, but it's getting a little bit contentious.
Oh no, this is
Well,
fine.
there's people that you see, like on Instagram, you can see which people follow certain things. And I see adverts come up because I'm
Mhm,
sure you're targeted, like the target for those. Yeah, you
mhm.
sing and then sound like you can make your voice sound like
Oh
Ariana
yeah.
Grande or something.
Oh
And I
yeah.
see
I get a
people
lot
I
of
know
those.
follow it, and I'm like,
Mhm.
oh, I don't
Mhm.
know.
Interesting.
But yeah,
Interesting. Yeah.
I notice something that you also, if you are doing everything yourself, sometimes your mistakes
Yeah.
kind of like a proof that you did it.
Right.
Yes,
Yeah, there you go.
that ad sounds a bit flat because I made it myself.
Yeah. It doesn't bother me that people are playing with AI to make music. The thing that bothers me is um, when that music is included
Yeah,
on streaming platforms next to real music. Or, I mean, and even that is, I mean, that is, it's so cringe. But the people are going to do what they're going to do. Is just
yeah,
creates even more of a challenge for musicians and creators to do better. But I think the weirdest, most unexpected side effect of it is when people say that my music sounds like AI. And I'm like, how so? In what way?
that's
Are you saying
really
it's
shit to hear.
too perfect, or it sounds like it was made in a trash can? Like, I don't, I don't know.
Yeah, I
But
mean, it's that kind of thing of like, there's nothing worse than someone saying something you've done sounds too good. Like, maybe I am good, I did it. Well, I don't think that didn't even occur to me. To me, there's a humanity in your music that's so apparently there. It couldn't be further away from sounding like AI,
oh well, thank you very
in
much.
my humble opinion. But
Yeah.
landing zone.
Hmm.
Um, so the aliens have come,
Yeah.
and what's the plan? It's kind of the plan for world peace that they have. They're
Hmm.
talking about it. They're talking about it. They don't actually say.
Hmm.
And I'm just Dreampocket. Can you please tell me the plan for world peace? Can you
Yeah.
give me the answer?
To take over you.
Because that's what I was talking about in the sequel to it.
It
I was thinking
is,
that's not very peaceful.
it's total dominance, and possibly the whole human race shall be enslaved and controlled, and you're the animals now.
Which we can't talk about this without Outrun the Night because
Right.
they're yeah.
Yeah.
Because so I'll talk about it in
Well,
one go.
I would like to say Landing Zone is the first Dream Pocket song for which the lyrics were written to go with the music. Usually I write lyrics first
Same.
and kind of know like how it's gonna sound maybe as I'm writing it. But with Landing Zone,
Yeah.
I was playing with the JDXI, started with the arpeggio. This is cool, build stuff around it.
Hmm.
Oh, the pad in the chorus is so cool. I'm gonna use that with strings and make that the intro. So I just kind of like went with what I knew. I felt like this was this is time to tell the story of this dream.
These aliens are saying, you know, we come in peace. The sequel to it,
Mhm.
Outrun the Night, it's basically they're just destroying everyone.
Don't you turn around. There's a shift in the night, keeping ear to the ground. Keep an eye on the sky. Nothing left of the town, not a star in sight. Can't stop running now. We'll make the beach by the light.
And I was thinking, this isn't very peaceful. So
They're always gonna say
they're liars.
they're always gonna try the peace, you know, or at least say that they're peaceful. 'Cause
Yeah.
they don't want people to like, you know, round up all their nuclear ballistics and, you know, go for it. So there's got to be a guise of peace
Mm,
in the beginning of the story, but you know, people,
yes.
and we don't know what the aliens are like. You know, they unpredictable. We don't know anything about their culture. You know, anything about the way they think, how they perceive things, how they perceive us. Geez.
Well, anything we know about aliens is a massive projection on from us and our culture.
Yeah, and of course, the aliens in the song, for all we know, could be more humans who have, you know, cracked interstellar travel. I don't know.
Well, that's some people think that, don't they? Like they might be us in the future or something.
We could theorize for eons.
Yeah. When you mention your recurring dream that kind of evolved into you being in a position where you're protecting someone, and that's sort of what this is about, that stage of the dream's evolution as well. Kind of, I wonder where it might go next. Has it gone somewhere else, or is this recurring dream? Is this one of the ones that stopped happening about 10 years ago, or is it still rumbling on?
That's as far as it goes. And
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that it's because
You exercised it.
that is the moment suspended in time in Outrun the Night is probably the last moment of humanity in this story, sadly. It just seems to me that's it. And I don't know if more will come. But
Well, speaking of which,
I also wrote the lyrics to Outrun the Night to match the music that I made. I did not plan on it to be a Landing Zone sequel, but it just happened and it worked.
came through. There was more to be said.
Yeah.
Did you really feel the test? Tell me who wins when there's nothing left. Together, we can outlast the fight. Together, we can outrun the night. Together, we will outlast the fight. Together.
Because you mention,
oh, there could be prequels.
well, what's one where it's kind of in the middle, a prequel but not, because you mentioned
like the Lion King 1.5.
right. it could be Outrun the Landing Zone, but
right,
or the test, because you mention a test that humanity has failed. This song could be about this test. What is the test? What's the process?
Okay.
So if you could do that, please.
It was algebra.
Oh dear. We've all failed. Yeah. I like.
No, it was a music reading test, and I was.
What's this note?
I volunteered as tribute and failed.
Okay, well.
No, the test, humanity. Interesting.
I
think
this
rhetorical question?
Because it could be a trilogy that completes with this middle one.
Could be. It could be a whole
album
saga.
Yeah,
exactly.
I don't think the story is over. Just saying. There's
a lot more to explore.
There is.
That's it. I like your like in between idea and giving me the prequel idea. That's it. Yeah.
Is this
juicy for the pod?
Very. It's dripping. I said that before. Is this your most popular song?
Outrun the Night?
Yeah, because it's your most remixed song, I think.
Yeah.
But I think it might be this song. Well, I think most people probably think of Detect now when they think of you, but I think this is the one that is kind of the emblematic song of Dreampocket. It's the one that
Yeah.
I've had played the most on shows and things.
Oh, fun.
I think so, anyway.
I would like to say that this is my cornerstone masterpiece, but
Signature song almost.
or yeah, the signature song. I feel like it may be, but um Moonsmoke is definitely the most popular
Mm.
by far.
Ah, okay, numbers wise, or just
Numbers
from what you
wise,
hear.
feedback wise,
Mm.
yeah, I think whenever people ask me about my music, that's where I send them first.
It's the one that I said I liked the most, but it's kind of changed. There's something about Starshine that's just because it speaks to me and probably so many people that have had that awful kind of rebirth thing. But
Hmm.
beautifully segueing now. Oh, with an honorable mention, my favorite remix of Outrun the Night is Memory Design remix, obviously.
Oh my goodness.
Who are they? Where are they from? And why? Together, we can outlast the fight. Together, we can outrun the night.
The
Together.
Memory Design remix. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother story. Oh my goodness. Yeah. All three remixes are amazing.
Yes, it goes without saying.
Oh my gosh. But I think that, and I know that Neutron Dreams
Together, we can outlast the fight. Together, we can outrun the night. Together, we will outlast the fight. Together.
Warren.
Don't you turn around. There's a shift in the night. Keep an ear to the ground. Keep an eye on the sky. Nothing left of the
Agree that Dave really did something else with his that surprised everyone.
Yeah.
And was beautiful for me and kind of helped me realize my dream of singing on this like epic rock song.
I think it's my go-to version. Sorry. It's the version I listen to if I want to hear it.
My daughter, she'll just be playing with her Legos and humming it. I said, "Are you humming Outrun the Night?" She goes, "Yeah." And we're in the car. She's like, "Outrun the Night. I want to listen to
That's the ultimate
Dreampocket
approval.
songs." I said, "Which one do you want?" She says, "I want the one with you and Mr. Dave."
Oh. That's it. You've had that stamp now.
Yeah.
You're never gonna get
Yeah,
that.
she's a little metalhead though. My 3-year-old
Oh.
daughter. Yeah, so she really likes that version.
There have to be more guitars going into things going forward. Yeah, I think had to mention that, and like you said, the other remix is amazing, but it's my show and it's my favorite. So there you go.
There you go.
It's incredible. Everyone should
Shout
listen.
out to Memory Design.
Oh my God, shout out to Dave. Memory Design.
Yeah. And he and Warren were both very instrumental in helping me get Outrun the Night to like completion because I had been working on that song for over 2 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And released some other stuff in between it, like remixing Love Language Rhythm and doing the whole Christmas Island cover. I did all of that, and even a cover of like a demo cover of Heat Waves by Glass Animals that's unfinished but still out there that I kind of all did in between working on Outrun the Night because I was trying to improve my skills. And sometimes when I get an itch to cover something, I have to do it like immediately. And with Heat Waves and Christmas Island, both of it came from, I wonder what this would sound like with steel drums in it.
Yeah. Well, I first heard that when we were on the show together, Heartbeat Hero together, Halloween one, and we all had to do a Halloween song, and you put that out. That was really cool.
I had no idea that song was gonna be a dark synth like spooky song. I didn't know.
It's just a fabulous rendering of it.
Thank you.
The album it's from, I remember being, I think, at college or something, and a guy having it on his, because there were different variations of that album cover with the people kissing,
Yeah.
like slightly different
Yeah.
angles. And I remember it was
Depeche Mode has a ton of material. Yeah.
right, yeah. It was a print on everyone's wall at uni, like one of
A
those.
question of lust.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that. He was like,
Yeah.
I think I was strangled, which
Yeah.
thrilling.
Yeah.
Detect is the most recent single as of now. Through the veil of an astronaut that wants to beam his thoughts, well, into Venus, obviously, because the goddess of love, female, tumultuous worlds.
Oh, obviously, yes.
Why do you find it hard to say what you need to say in this particular situation? Because I've never really understood people that can't put their feelings into words, because I'm
Great question.
I'm quite blunt, and I've never struggled with that. Probably, and that isn't always a good thing.
It's not about struggling to put feelings into words.
Okay.
It's about struggling to get your audience to hear what you're saying and to understand what you mean.
So this isn't about a romantic situation.
It is, though. And the audience just being anyone you're speaking to.
It's both. Two layers.
Or your partner, I should say.
But also it could be about people listening to you generally, maybe then.
Maybe. I haven't thought of that.
But that's what I thought you meant.
Could be, yeah. But I leave my art open to interpretation.
Yeah.
Although that's what we're trying to not do here.
No, I won't stand for that.
Which is totally fine. But in the case of the context it was written, it would just be struggling to be seen for who you really are versus someone's perspective of you. Because if things can get skewed sometimes, assumptions can be made, and everything we say or do can be seen through a lens or a filter that transmogrifies the intent.
And relationships evolve over time, and things like children really change the dynamic, and the way you communicate changes. And there's so many other little resentments and passages that used to be free and easy and clear become blocked by, well, again, Mr. Time, but also just circumstances change. And sometimes things that needed to be said are unsaid for so long that they become almost impossible to say because the passage of time makes them so hard to say.
Yeah,
and
I know what you mean.
I wonder if there's, again, time has come into this song and altered your ability to communicate with someone that maybe at one point would have perhaps been clearer.
Yeah, perhaps.
But there's frustration, but it's beautiful. And I think when I first heard it, it gave me that kind of teary feeling.
Wow, thank you. Thank you. That's a really high compliment.
Well, it's a really high song.
I was really high when I wrote it.
Yeah. Well, that's quite impressive. I could really feel that, and I don't know, it's because it's quite new. It's still one that I'm not in. You digest something, but almost.
That's the beautiful thing about music too. Like you can digest it differently after getting to know a song for 5 years. You really understand it, versus just like getting into it, listening to it over and over again when it first comes out. But so I know what you mean.
Sorry for you though in
For
it,
sure,
or the narrator.
Why?
Because It's that thing of you sometimes feel like, why do you need to kind of, you're saying, well, here it is, living proof that people can change. Now, I saw that in two different
Mhm.
ways. I saw it in like a way where I felt really sad, like you shouldn't need to change. But then I also saw
Mhm.
it as this song is living proof that I can change because I'm telling you the thing that I couldn't tell you in this song. I am now
There you
telling you
go.
that's how I've
Ah,
changed because now you're hearing it.
sharp.
So,
That's sharp. Yeah.
well, I thought I was sad because I thought it sounds like someone that's can't tell the person something or they're afraid or, but then at the same time, that's like buried within the song, that kernel. And then as if that
Ah.
wasn't enough, you say it three more times.
People change. People change. How can I put the thought into your head? How could you know the things I wish I'd said?
I'm a big believer in self-improvement. I don't believe that nobody changes.
No.
People say the same. I don't believe that. That's not true. Even if people don't realize it, they're always changing. But some people get set in their ways early in life and they just say, "Oh, this is just the way I am."
Yeah.
I'm not like that. I've overcome a lot of stuff in my life. There's a lot to
Yeah.
navigate as far as being a decent person. So I'm always trying to improve myself and be the best um person that I can be. So
I interpreted that it became a more positive song because I saw it as this kind of trapped, abused person having to change when they shouldn't need to change. But then I thought
oh yeah, no, it's definitely not.
the changes that they're telling
Mhm.
this person were how they feel at last through this song.
Yeah, it's good change.
There are lots of songs that you hear in the kind of community and you listen to things and they're good, but this is so unique and so perfect, and it's so in the wheelhouse of something that music I love to listen to. It's something that is so unusual and special,
Yeah.
and you had this almost like a challenge to make it on one particular was it the Roland?
Yeah. It was a single synth challenge. I used the Roland JDXI.
Right.
Yeah. Um and that's really really close. Like there is something to that like with these lyrics, I got to be honest, I really am proud of how they came out. And
Mm.
I was kind of like improvising them as I recorded with the vocoder. Just really I was really in the Dreampocket. As I tell memory design, like I have to be in this certain state when I'm songwriting,
Mm. Mm.
where I'm just very relaxed and my mind is lucid and just kind of flowing, letting it flow. Um, but it's more of like, here it is. I've changed. Everything about me in my life is proof that I've changed. Yet you still don't believe it.
Mm. Okay.
Yeah, I know that's not the happy you wanted. Does that make
No,
any
but it
sense?
doesn't have to be always. Sorry, Dad.
Yeah.
I guess people take time to believe things, don't they?
Yeah.
But it depends how long you've been
It's one of
sick.
those things where every situation is different. And,
Mm,
you can't change the past.
no,
All you can do is try to improve the future.
but it's frustrating when someone isn't taking as long to believe you as you want them to, and you feel like you
Mm,
should by now,
yeah.
but you
But,
can't change that, you
mhm.
know?
But relationships are complex, especially ones that go on for years, and that there's like a number of different things that this could be referring to.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that was just, how I was feeling in the
Mm.
time when I wrote that song, and I was able to somehow capture intangible feelings, which is such an oxymoron. But
Well, they are. That's what
feelings
they
that
are.
don't have names can only be described.
Yeah.
And it's very tough to describe feelings that don't have names. With the tech, I was actually able to achieve that, I feel like, and I couldn't believe it when I finally got it out. This is
I couldn't believe it when I heard it. I was so jealous. I wish it was mine. But there's the instrumental version, so I can do karaoke and pretend it is.
Please, yeah.
You,
Put it out there.
I was lucky enough to hear it right before you released it.
Oh
And
yeah.
I remember I said,
You
"Oh,
were
I
one
don't
of my
like the
beta
vocoder."
testers on
Yeah,
Detect.
I don't like the vocoder. Take it off, you'll regret that. And now I realize how intrinsic it is to the lyrics because it's this gradual process of becoming more clear.
Mhm.
And it's really important that it's on there because it's telling it's at least I think
Yeah.
it's revealing the clarity that you're trying to reveal by being able to change and tell this person how you feel.
Well, I thought that was very nice of you to say that I should put more of my real voice on there, but
Yeah.
now you understand, and I knew you would get it though.
Yeah,
I knew
yeah,
you would.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it took a while. But I want a version without it because I'm just curious. But yeah,
There
it's
is none. I mean,
no,
it's not an
fine.
effect. It's just recorded with a
Well, it's an actual
vocoder
vocoder.
through
Yeah,
the,
exactly. You
yeah,
can't
there
just
is no
take it off
clean
like a
version. Yeah,
patch.
no. Yep.
This is the mindset that's so hard to
And that's one
remember.
of the things I was hearing on Submit Hub is like the vocoder is too wet. I'm like, no, it's a vocoder.
It's not too wet, it is it.
It is it. That is what it. That is all it is.
That's
Yeah.
that's ironic, isn't it? Like the vocoder
But
effect.
again, that comes with one of the caveats of synthwave is people assuming that it was made
Yeah.
but just coming from, rock music. And hanging out with bands.
Mm,
I didn't even know what a VST was
right.
until a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Well, I knew people made music with MIDI. And I knew it was used for
Mm.
electronic music and like Fruity Loops and stuff. I had rapper friends who made their music that way, and I always thought it was cool. And I think it's really cool people come up with it. But I lost my train of thought. Where'd I put it?
People have been using um vocoders, I think, since the 60s, haven't they? Or I know certainly things like obviously certainly by the early 80s and MIDI since
Yeah.
the 80s too.
Oh.
But vocoders are ancient. They're not.
One of the artists in our community who was part of this one synth challenge is Aisle 9. And when
Oh, I
he
know him,
heard
yeah.
Detect, he said, "Oh, the vocoder reminds me of Neil Young's Trans album, which is from '83." And I went back
Right.
and listened to it, and apparently it's like his most hated album, least popular album, but the vocoder um is used in this to kind of represent his struggles communicating with his son with autism, which is a very similar situation to Tech. So
Yeah.
just thought it was crazy that there's so much synth stuff in this Neil Young album, but there's still really groovy guitars and some cool beats, but the mix is rough, man. But yeah, vocoder's been around.
Well, I don't know about your, but you've got to put it in your mouth, haven't you? Some of them where it's like a tube, you actually have to
Ah,
put it in your mouth.
that is a talk box. That is
Right, okay,
different from
right,
a vocoder.
right.
With a talk box, you can hook it up to a guitar or a keyboard or what have you. And
I see.
yeah, so that's like the Peter Frampton sort of wow, 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 wow.
I
Yeah,
see.
and the
Yeah.
vocoder is that Kavinsky like um take me you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah.
Mission accomplished
Hey,
is all
there
I
we
can
go.
say about that. It's
And
just
people
fabulous.
out there, correct me if I'm wrong, if there's more or less of a distinction between vocoder and talkbox, but
Oh yeah, I'm sure you know that
to
they
my
will.
understanding, that is how it works. Yeah. And there's some debate out there over which one Daft Punk uses, because to me it sounds like a talk box, but sometimes it's a vocoder maybe, and everybody says it's a vocoder, so I don't know. Hey,
Well,
fellow Daft Punk fans out there, get the diehards. Let me know.
this reminded me of a problem I had with that album in 2013.
Hmm.
There was a song on it called Within. It's like a ballad. It's
Oh yeah.
gorgeous.
Hmm.
But I hated that there was a vocoder on it. I really wanted to just hear
Yeah.
the actual vocal, but then it wouldn't be Daft Punk, you know? That's the whole
Well,
point. I loved that song.
I like a lot of Daft Punk's um vocoder and or talkbox
Mm.
work.
Yeah.
But one of the things I think some people struggle with vocoder is having a monotonous vocal melody with it.
Mm.
Um, it's just like one note over and over again, or just the same couple notes because it's easy to just bounce back and forth.
Yeah.
But I know like Daft Punk uses like the modulator and the pitch bend and cool stuff like
Mm.
that. And with Detect, I really try to avoid that sort of.
No, it sounds dynamic.
With the Roland, there's a key hold. So if you play the chord, you'll hold that chord.
Mm.
Give you a chance to go. So it would go A minor. How can I down to F and just hit it once for each note change.
Mm.
But I'm playing the whole chord,
Yeah.
not just the note. So it gives it more of the full dynamic sound. And I'm able to go back and forth very quickly because I'm a piano player
Yeah.
personally to do that. So that's how that was made. There you go.
So we've come to the end of our journey through your discography for now. What's next? Is there anything you can tell me?
I'm working on a cover with Memory Design.
Okay.
I'm working on an EP with Indigo.
Okay.
I just put out a song featuring Outrunner on the Outrun the Sun compilation.
Yes.
So check that out.
Eyes closed, let go and drift off.
Any final thoughts at all?
Just that this has been a very revealing and vulnerable experience. And I hope that 98% of it gets edited out. So that's no, but thank you so much for having this. Is so much fun.
No, thank you. And I think probably that there's a whole other podcast to talk about so many other things to do with you and your influences and your kind of the writing progress. I don't think we're done yet. I
There's
haven't
always
finished.
more to say. Like I know I'm gonna be
Yeah.
thinking about it, and when I listen back, I'm gonna say, "Oh boy, I really should have said this
I
and
know.
that." But we delved into so many things that I haven't ever talked about before. So it's been a
Oh,
beautiful
well, I'm
experience. Yeah.
privileged. Thank you. There's one thing I want to say. I think making music would be a damn sight harder if we didn't sing on it.
Mm.
And I find that the most torturous, horrible part of it.
The singing.
The recording, the singing, the hating it, the going back and doing
Mhm.
things. It's the worst.
Oh yeah, that's the always the first thing that's shocks me with recording vocals is listening back to the first take. It's just like,
Like, what?
oh no. So finding the right vocal tone, the right level
Ugh.
for the song. Yeah, it can be a very humbling experience, but luckily you're the only person who has to hear it.
Yeah. Well, tell me you comp your takes at least.
Um,
Or do you do
I
everything in one take and make it
Oh
perfect?
no, yeah,
Please.
no, I comp
Oh,
it.
thank
I
God.
comp everything.
Oh,
I'm
thank
not a
God.
wizard who just like sits down and goes done. I don't just go arpeggios, 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 done. Like I do have to edit things.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
some
yeah.
of the
Okay.
things that I do to it, Dave from Memory Design has told me, oh, that's basically what you do in MIDI too. Like with my kicks and snares. Like I'll find
Yeah.
my right kick and snare, and I'll go through and make the beat on the grid. I hear the beat I want in my head. I'm like, boop, 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 boop. Here it is. Or a fill or whatever.
Yeah.
Like with toms, I'll open up the toms or I'll get right here on the E kit, either way, keyboard, and I'll just do a bunch of fills because I've decided what tone I want.
Yeah.
And I'll put them in my project and I'll place them where I want. And then I'll cut them up and edit them and automate the panning. And
Yeah.
yeah, so yeah, there you have it. What was your question?
I just desperately needed to hear that that you're not a perfectionist when it comes to your vocals and you have to do them all in one take or something.
Oh no,
No, because then I'd have to kill you because you'd be too perfect.
you have to find me first.
Well, thank you very much. And we definitely have more to say. But for now, thank you for talking to me. And Dreampocket has a new EP out now, Drift Off, featuring Outrunner remixes. And I'll see you next time.